Commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
All right, I'd like to invite you right off the top to go vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. People are starting to make some announcements about the midterms. It is 2025, 2026 is upon us. But here's the deal. A lot of people are jockeying because what did we find out about the congressional map in Texas? That the Republicans who run the state legislature there, because they're in the majority, were able to redraw the maps in Texas. And what did they do? It's maybe the stupidest thing that Texas has done. The future of the Democrat Party. They drew Jasmine Crockett out of her district. What are they going to do? What is Jasmine Crockett?
How about her?
You've got a campaign announcement that took place, and she kind of danced around. She's like, "Oh, I don't know." She was saying, "I don't know. I'm not sure. We got to look at the numbers. It's going to be an expensive race." She was saying that the morning that she announced that she was going to run. And so the YouTube poll for today, in today's political climate, this is a bipartisan, nonpartisan, apartisan poll. In today's political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence? Here's the Crockett announcement.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
And it says Crockett for U.S. Senate. There is the campaign video. The launch video for Jasmine Crockett is a montage that they put together of Donald Trump calling her a low IQ person and saying, basically, please make her the leader of the Democrat Party.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's news to me. I'd never seen that ad.
Yeah.
It's just her face while we hear Donald Trump talking. I was waiting for her to come on at the end and say, yeah, but.
You'd have to actually watch the video to understand that she was even a party to this particular campaign launch ad. This is the launch for her campaign for the United States Senate in Texas. And it's Donald Trump being like, she's pretty stupid.
Well, that was inspiring.
It was for me and the future of this country.
I'm not sure if it accomplished what she wanted.
There's a lot of I'm always super hesitant to jump into this too much. I don't ever want to be a part of somebody else's montage, which part of what I'm saying right now is almost making it a certainty if Jasmine Crockett wins her Senate campaign. But I can think of the people who, ahead of Donald Trump's campaign for president, what's the British guy's name?
John Oliver.
Do it.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yes, just arrogant, ignorant, repetitive, guffaw over whether or not Donald Trump even has a laughing chance at becoming the president. 3 times if you ask him. So I don't want to sit here and be like, Jasmine Crockett is so dumb, she'll never be a United States senator. Run, it'll be great for the Republicans, and then put me in the montage here. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think she's going to win in Texas.
I think she's probably the best thing that could happen to any of the Republican candidates because Ken Paxton is right now barely the leader among the Republicans, and he actually polls the worst against Democrats. So that seat actually worries me a little bit, but if Crockett runs, worries me less.
Well, Cornyn would be a better senator than Crockett for sure in Texas if he were to remain in that seat, but it's Jasmine Crockett's not the person who runs for the Senate for Texas. She was running for the Senate for herself. which is why her campaign announcement was all about how you're supposed to feel about the way Donald Trump treats her. You think about that for a second? Isn't that actually kind of get under your skin a little bit? That the rallying cry for Crockett's Senate campaign is that you need to show up to support her. Not that Donald Trump is doing something to you. It's that Donald Trump is doing something to Jasmine Crockett. Ugh, the nerve of Donald Trump. And, you know, she loves to say that her name is always in his mouth and all this stuff, but she lives for that. Her purpose is to stir up crap in Washington, D.C. for the purpose of her. Yesterday, we talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I've always gotten the feeling, I was always open to being wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been on our show one time when she was promoting her book, so that was the impetus to get her on the show. Glad she did it. It was a pleasant conversation, but I don't feel like Marjorie Taylor Greene is fighting for the cause more than she's fighting for Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think that she doesn't care about the country. I don't feel that she's some sort of traitor of any kind. I just feel like the purpose for for Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she fights for is elevating her profile and helping the country along the way. I don't know what I don't know a single thing that Jasmine Crockett stands for that is policy-based. She hates Donald Trump, but I think she loves Donald Trump. If she doesn't have, in her mind, a proper villain that keeps the audience interested and entertained, without a proper villain, she's just another one of 435 people in the House of Representatives. She needs a foil. And for her, the foil is Donald Trump. But the story is about her. So if you're on the left side of the aisle or the right side of the aisle, I'm really not so terribly interested in how this works for the 1 in 435 person that is in the House. I want to know why would people want to move to Jasmine Crockett's district? What is Marjorie Taylor Greene doing that is so great for her Georgia congressional district? Why would people want to flock towards the area that is being run by this individual person? Because their representation, their advocacy is top notch. You feel like that's a place where you could feel comfortable and at home, like you would have somebody there fighting for what you believe is best for the country. If you have a famous district because that person has become really great at being an influencer, they're not supposed to be an influencer. They're supposed to be representative in a republic where actually, guess what? You are the superstar. You are the reason they go to work every day, not themselves, not their clicks, their numbers, their likes, their thumbs up, their follows, their subscribers. It's supposed to be about you. And I guess if you were doing your job really well, you'd be having people increase in numbers in your district. Look at the state of Illinois, the outbound flight of people who live in the state of Illinois. Same thing with California. And California's got the climate, the geography that Illinois certainly doesn't, that makes it a destination place. But people are leaving. Why are they leaving? I'm assessing going into this midterm election, which will be a general election for the state of Illinois. We elect our statewide during the midterm, so we can elect a new governor, Mr. No Kings J.B. Pritzker, running for his third term. There is not a single Republican statewide official in the state of Illinois. Not one. There's not one statewide official elected that is Republican. There is a supermajority of Democrats in the Illinois General Assembly House, a supermajority of Democrats in the Illinois General Assembly Senate. You have no representation. 44% of the state of Illinois voted for Donald Trump. Zero representation in statewide positions in Illinois. You got a Senate option. Yesterday we spoke with Don Tracy, who is a Republican running in the Republican primary to replace Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin decided he's not running again. His seat is open, so you'll have a Democrat primary and a Republican primary. What a tall order that would be to try to take that seat, but Don Tracy is trying, among others. Illinois has the opportunity to take that 44% and tick it up a little bit and bring some common sense somewhere for constituents in the state of Illinois before all the smart ones leave. Except for those smart ones that are so tethered to the state of Illinois because of the ground that they live on, the brick and mortar that they work in, the family that is immovable, that they're left to suffer with the consequences of what's left. So here's a question for you. In today's political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence? I think about somebody like Jasmine Crockett, and I'm constantly asking myself, is she malicious or is she incompetent? Because it doesn't feel as though her advocacy, now she doesn't represent me, but she does, her votes do affect me. Her responsibility isn't to me, it's to the people in her congressional district. If she wins the Senate seat in Texas, she will be responsible to those individuals who voted in Texas and those who didn't. On the left side of the aisle, on the right side of the aisle, do you feel as though the ineffective nature of our government, local, federal, state, whatever it might be, do you feel as though malice or incompetence is more prevalent? Would love to hear what you think about that. You got a front runner? I should have put an option on there and be like, I think government is great.
Neither one of these are true. Our government is wonderful. I have a lean here, but this is a hard question because there's so many circumstances that could go one way or the other, and there are so many. More. Yeah, it's just which is more, and I do have a lean, but I'm not going to say yet.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a little bit. We're going to keep talking here on the Andy Fry Show. Of course, the three of us in this room, Ryan, Brad, and myself, we all live in the state of Illinois. And so we care deeply about what happens in those Illinois elections. You probably won't get as much of this elsewhere. Some of you not living in Illinois, you might be thinking, okay, Annie, I get it. I don't talk about Illinois all the time, but when we get into the midterm election time where it becomes our statewide, we are going to be a place where you can keep tabs on who is running, what they're advocating for, what they would do for you if they were getting elected. So when we come back, we're going to speak with Aaron Del Mar. He's the candidate for Illinois Lieutenant Governor on the Bailey Del Mar ticket. And as I understand it, we have Darren Bailey, the candidate for Illinois governor. He's scheduled to be on with us a little bit later in the month, so you want to stick around for that. But Aaron Del Mar is going to talk to us a little bit about the Bailey Del Mar ticket. It will be a part due for Darren Bailey, who ran last time and made a decent showing, but thinks he can maybe pull it off this time. What does Aaron Del Mar add to the ticket for lieutenant governor? Well, we'll ask him next here on the Andy Fry Show.
Drought breaks with the tears of a mother. A baby's cry is the sound of love. Come down, Emmanuel.
Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. This is not like the fun phone call that you really want to make, especially at this time of year. But if you are experiencing some sort of foundational, let's call it a situation at your home, at work, you need somebody who can rely on to come deliver you a solution to that foundational degradation that you're experiencing. Home Shield Foundation Repair, that's who I encourage you to call and give them the opportunity to earn your business. When you reach out to Matt Hayes at 314-227-9636, that's 314-227-9636, you're going to meet Matt Hayes. He's going to come assess your situation, make sure that they have an understanding completely as foundational cracks in your home, if you have water coming in, making sure that they can check for the things that come along with moisture in your basement. You never want to have moisture where you're not supposed to, and give you a solution that you can rely on. That basement waterproofing effort comes with a lifetime warranty. 314-227-9636, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you. Grandpa had a soft spot for dogs.
Yeah, he always had treats in his pocket.
He said if you're going to take care of people, you better take care of their best friends too.
Is that why we help dog shelters?
That's right. For every service call, we donate 10 pounds of dog food to local dog shelters, helping dogs waiting for a home.
Grandpa would like that.
He sure would.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Onto the streets. Their crimes include 5 homicides, more than 140 assaults, 15 weapons offenses, and 10 sexual predatory offenses. Beyond that, ICE says the state currently has more than 4,000 other criminal illegal aliens in custody that ICE wants, but that the state refuses to hand over. Here's Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
Before another one of these criminal aliens get re-released to hurt anyone back in their state or their communities, work with us now. We have the data to show that these are bad people. These are bad individuals that should not be re-released back in the United States. Give us the opportunity to remove them from the country.
So there you have a little bit of a report out of Chicago regarding, we hear a lot of the news stories regarding the ICE effect in Chicago. Of course, J.B. Pritzker, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, saying, get the heck out of here. We don't want your help. We don't want your kind. We don't think it's even necessary. And the rest of the state of Illinois watches as J.B. Pritzker continues to do the types of things that he does that don't seem to benefit the state as a whole. So J.B. Pritzker has said he's going to run for a third term. A third term. That sounds very king-like to me. But like I say, Mr. No Kings, he wants to seek out that third term maybe as he walks his way into a presidential run that would hit right there in the middle of his third term in governor. There are some folks out there who want to put a stop to it, and it's going to take the voters to decide that, to show up in force, and finally vote for a Republican once again. And Aaron Del Mar is running for lieutenant governor, along with Darren Bailey, who's taken another run at it. We've got a candidate for Illinois lieutenant governor with us right now, Aaron Del Mar. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me on, Annie.
You're welcome. So I want to learn a little bit about you. We've had Darren Bailey on this show many times. I've done many events with Darren Bailey over the course of the years that I've been on this radio show. Aaron, talk to us a little bit about your efforts to join this ticket. Why sign up to run for a lieutenant governor position in a state that has 0 elected statewide Republicans?
Well, I can tell you, if you would have told me 5 months ago that I'd be running with Darren Bailey as his running mate, I would have said, you're absolutely crazy. Darren and I have been very competitive against each other. And to be honest with you, I had a plan to run for governor on my own. I had my running mate picked out, petitions ready to go. We even had a couple fundraisers and campaign events. But when Darren decided that he was going to jump in the race and was gracious enough to call me, I still wasn't convinced, to be honest with you. So we met and we talked. And I was going to say, I said, Darren, I'll give you 45 minutes for you to pitch me on why I should be your LG. That meeting ended up being about 4 hours. And what Darren and I found out is that we had so much more in common than we had apart, and that we could bring generational change to Illinois because I'm from Chicago. I'm from the Cook County area. I currently serve as the Cook County Republican chairman. So this was an opportunity to take the North and the South, two regional leaders in Illinois, and combine and unify for one goal in mind. And that goal is to be J.B. Pritzker in November of 26.
Yeah, I love that there is that juxtaposition with this ticket. You're suggesting that you were thinking about running for governor yourself and you guys had a lot in common. The truth of the matter is that Cook County, I'm a downstate Illinois resident myself. I know that Cook County is the full muscle of the state of Illinois. We don't like it down here. Cook County can do whatever Cook County wants, but unfortunately it shades down the state, and the rest of us just kind of have to go the way of what Chicago wants to do. But my understanding is the Chicago Republican Party is the biggest party that exists within the state of Illinois with Republicans. So we have to do it together. If we want to win, we're going to have to do it together. How do you bring these people together in the state, the voters, to come together and say, yes, this is the ticket that can beat J.B. Pritzker?
Well, I think now the time is really ripe. In Southern Illinois, Darren Bailey has been known for many years to be a voice. When he served in the state house, when he served as a state senator, when he was our nominee in 2022. And I've been a big advocate for Republican conservative values up here in Chicago, fighting the fight. I went down and saw Darren and Cindy at their farm, and I'm like, man, it's like living in Disneyland down here. It's all Republicans all around me. Where I live in Gaza, we're fighting every single day for a postage stamp of space, to get any kind of ground. But that's where I've really said, hey, Darren, we have an opportunity here. The Democrats have pretty much abandoned their own base. Brandon Johnson, the worst mayor in the United States, is at single-digit approval rating. J.B. Pritzker, for the first time in 8 years, is underwater. And you're seeing the shootings. You're seeing the crime. I mean, my son was at the Chris Kindle Mart opening with the tree lighting in Chicago when the teen takeover happened, and when the shootings broke out, and we lost a 14-year-old in that shooting. It's just getting worse and worse. And the Democrats are in Chicago are fed up with it too. So if we can create a message a little bit different than in 2022, where Darren had a great understanding of Southern Illinois, but he needed somebody up advocating him from Chicago, somebody that talks like me, somebody that looks like me, somebody understands the issues here, that crime, public safety, affordability, and education, no matter where you are in the state, matter. And speaking of the voice up here, this is our opportunity to take our state back. And it's not going to be being warm and fuzzy. It's going to be a fight. And that's what we do up in Cook County as Republicans up here. We fight every single day. And Darren and I are the only team in Illinois that will bring the fight to J.B. Pritzker instead of being the punching bag for him.
Well, I love that clarity that you're describing that you have right now. I love that you are able to understand that Chicago isn't the only way that this can get done. And Southern Illinois is not the only way that this can get done. I mean, honestly, Illinois can't even agree on what actually constitutes Southern Illinois as a whole. Tell me what issues, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to get thrown at you, Aaron, that is a social conservative, that maybe you just a more Trumpian kind of attack that the Democrats are going to throw at you, and they're going to make you answer for that. And then they're going to use Darren Bailey, who talks like a farmer, because the man is a farmer, and he's working his tail off with a really incredibly successful career as a farmer. We down here flex on that, but we understand not everybody else does. They're going to try to cross-sex you guys and make it so that you are at opposition with one another, or at least you don't have a consistent message. There's got to be something consistent that you guys can bring to the table. What is it?
Well, and I encourage them to come get it, right? Come get it. We're ready to fight. This time of laying down and capitulating to Democrats, that day is over. When you have the Southern Illinois group, right, the Southern Illinois voice that has been ignored for so many years, being advocated by one of the strongest Republican figures down there in the last 2 decades, Darren Bailey. And then you have the Cook County Republican chairman who fights every day for our conservative values, fights for faith, fights for family up in the Chicagoland area, but messages it in a way that people can consume it and people can understand it. When people ask me questions about, oh, Aaron, you're heartless because of, your position on immigration. You know what I say to you? I say to you, you know what? Your kids at Chicago Public Schools, you used to having 35 kids to one teacher. Now it's 45. How is your kid getting educated? When you talk about, being heartless in immigration, I said, imagine that you're at the United Center watching a Chicago Bulls game and every seat in the house is full. That's how many illegal immigrants came into Chicago over, a 6-week period. Right? If you've been told for 5 decades in the southwest side of Chicago that you don't have money for schools, we don't have money for playgrounds, we don't have money for healthcare, we don't have money for anything, and then 65,000 illegals come in, and J.B. Pritzker finds $2.3 billion of your hard taxpayer money to fund them, to give them cell phones, to give them food, to give them health insurance. I mean, just today, J.B. Pritzker signed a bill offering, educational benefits to illegal immigrants. Well, what about our kids? What about our families that have been here? What about the kids on the farm that have been going to rural schools and they need a little bit of help to get them to that next level? Right? J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson have turned their back on not just Republicans, but on everyday citizens. And Darren Bailey and I are going to highlight each and everything that they've done. And we're going to be screaming on the hills. We're going to be taking the fight to them. And we're going to be doing it in a way that brings people in to us. You know what? They may not be Republicans, but they are sick and tired of what's happening. And they're going to vote Republican just for this cycle, maybe until we can earn their trust over time. But they're going to do it just to tell J.B. Pritzker where he can go.
Yeah, I would love that. I love every bit of that. Aaron Delmar speaking with us right now, the candidate for Illinois Lieutenant Governor, alongside Darren Bailey, who is running again for governor. BaileyforIllinois.com if you want to learn about their candidacy here, if you want to support them, certainly BaileyforIllinois.com. Here's a personal frustration that I have with J.B. Pritzker, and I think a lot of people listening right now who, like me, have kids in school in the state of Illinois. I've got 4 kids myself, Aaron. The big, beautiful bill passed by the Congress, House got it done by Memorial Day, the Senate got it done and was signed by the president on July 4th. The big, beautiful bill includes a pretty incredible school choice effort, which is contributions up to $1,700. That if I decide I want to contribute $1,700 to the Lutheran Elementary School Association down here, which I am a partner with, I can make that a tax credit. I can donate that $1,700 and essentially say, I would rather the Lutheran Elementary School Association have that $1,700 than Uncle Sam. If the governor, and along with ISBE, I suppose, opts us in, then Illinois people can participate in that. But not if the governor says no. How do you feel about these types of opportunities where the federal government is putting together these very America first, family first policies in place? And right now we have Democrats, top to bottom in the state of Illinois, stonewalling families like mine and families like those listening right now from accessing these types of benefits.
Well, I mean, it's incredibly infuriating. I can tell you that on day one, when Darren Bailey is sworn in as governor, that's going to be the first thing that we do. Because one thing I can tell you from up north is that we had a similar issue like that. We had a similar program called Empower Illinois that was giving those opportunities to African-American kids, Hispanic kids, Eastern European kids in the Chicago schools. So they could go to a magnet school. They could go to a private school. And then because J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson capitulated to the Chicago Teachers Union, that program went away because they want to artificially inflate the enrollment in Chicago public schools so they can take more of those educational dollars and not give anybody a quality education. And what did that do? That threw a lot of kids out of the schools that they've been going to, the high schools, the elementary schools, that they've been creating friends and cultivating relationships and getting a quality education. Now they're being forced into an environment where they can't learn. That has caused so much anger and destruction in the Chicagoland area that those are the people that we're identifying that have been traditional Democratic voters that were like, hey, do you like what just happened to you? Your kid just got tossed out of your school, but we can bring that back on day one. They may not like our position on Trump. They may not like our position on Second Amendment. They may not like our position on life. But they know that if they vote for Darren Bailey and Aaron Delmar, that their kid can go to the school choice that they want, and we can actually even help those that are homeschooled. I think that's a really compelling reason for them to come out and punch a ticket for us.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think that what I'm going to encourage these downstaters that I talk to and that we're talking to right now that are listening to this interview, what we're going to have to remember is that when the conversation naturally continuously goes back to Chicago, which is what it's going to have to is going to happen, those voters are the ones who are going to tip this one way or the other. My understanding is about 24% of Cook County goes red. We win statewide. We don't need to win Cook County. We need to represent in Cook County and not be able to be, not considered as a Republican Party. So being able to advocate on those grounds for Cook County, for Chicago specifically, when downstate voters hear conversations about Chicago, they need to understand the importance of persuading the 67% or whatever of our state population that exists right there in Cook County. Those are the voters that we need to get. What do you want from downstaters when it comes to showing up? Should you win the primary, Bailey, Delmar are the only thing standing between Illinois voters and getting rid of J.B. Pritzker. What are you going to need from downstaters to make sure that you can get across the finish line?
What I need is accountability, because, a lot of people said in 2022, the reason Darren Bailey lost is because he couldn't get any of the Chicago vote and the Northern vote. And to be honest with you, some of that is true. And because of that, it's probably why I'm on this radio show with you right now. Darren saw what he didn't do well. He saw that he needed to make a change, and he saw that he needed to have somebody advocating for the North and speaking their language. But the biggest thing that people forget is downstate Illinois only turned out 55% of voter turnout, right? For every vote you all get downstate, is one less vote that I need to drag out of an independent or a soft Democrat up here. If you can get up to 74% down in Southern Illinois and get those ruby red Republican counties that we're all so proud of, I can do my job a lot easier and say, hey, look, we're going to follow this trend. When we start having polling, we start having people seeing that Bailey and Delmar can win, even Democrats and even soft, independents, they want to come over and be on the winning team. We can start a movement, which is already sparked in Southern Illinois and in Cook County. We have several townships and wards in the city of Chicago that are going to be endorsing Darren and I over the next 2 months. That's not something you've ever seen before. This is our opportunity. This is our time to take our state back. And, when we talk about faith between Darren and I kind of joked with him. I said, Darren, you're the staff. He's like, really? And I said, yeah, but I'm the sword. Right. This is how we're going to move Illinois forward, running a faith-based, family-based group. And, even my kids are getting involved. My 10-year-old daughter said, you're running with Darren Bailey? I go, yeah. She goes, Dad, that's like the farmer in the Dell. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's cute. We'll try to weave that in there and get some T-shirts made. But really, this is the opportunity for Illinois to really show what it is, because never, ever before have you had the North and the South uniting. And, unity doesn't mean we agree on everything, but it means that we agree on things that are the most important. And that's what we're doing. We're really working on those 80-20 issues and really bringing them to light.
The taxes has to be at the top of the burdensome existence that we live here in the state of Illinois from a tax base. Last question before we go. You've asked for accountability from Southern Illinois. What will you deliver for them if they show up?
I can tell you this right now, that Cook County is ready to go. Our infrastructure, our timing, and our messaging is right there. And here's something else I can tell you. After the tragedy that happened to Darren Bailey's family, the heartbreaking trauma that caused, not only to Darren's family, but to the community, to the whole state, and even across the nation. Darren came up here, and you might have not seen it down south in your area, but he did some really good media. He did some real good interviews. And a lot of feedback from Democrats, from independents that I got were, they're not looking at Darren the same way they did in 22. They're not looking at him as this barnstormer, farmer, ultra MAGA conservative, and the boogeyman that J.B. Pritzker spent so much money trying to make him out to be. They see Darren as a father, as a grandfather, as a person. And that's changing the perception that Darren is. And J.B. Pritzker can spend as much money as he wants. That perception's not changing. It's only growing. And the more that we talk about issues that are shared by Northern and Southern Illinois, the lack of public safety, the lack of education, and the most important, the lack of affordability, the more that we're going to win more people over. And that's going to be the key that we're going to need, because we're going to need those independents. We're going to need those soft Democrats if we're going to take this state back.
Well, you can go to BaileyForIllinois.com to learn more about how you can learn about Bailey, Delmar, and how you can support them if you so choose. We hope to be in frequent contact with your ticket as we march towards November 2026. Aaron Delmar, thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Aaron Delmar is the candidate for Illinois Lieutenant Governor, and we'll be having Darren Bailey on. Do you have him scheduled? Didn't you?
We're still working on it.
Nail it down?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's exciting to have a discussion there. We're getting very close to an election year in 2026, and Illinois has yet again another opportunity to get it right. We'll find out who will be our selected primary winners. The primary for Illinois is in March, so you only got like one quarter to figure out who you want to be the person to go fight against that Democrat. So Aaron Del Mar, Lieutenant Governor candidate on the Bailey Del Mar ticket. Quick break. Let's take a moment and go vote in the YouTube poll. In today's political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence? Let us know what you think. We'll be right back.
Why won't you let me fill up the empty heart?
RulerFoods.com. It's like, does the shopping ever stop in December? You're shopping for everything. If you're awake, you're probably shopping. So when you can save on something, you are looking for that. That's kind of all. The chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We have a hot mic in here, so our stream can hear us. So while you were in here, you were public. So just on the stream. Hi. I'm just saying, know that you're here. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, Jackie says, yeah. We lost all internet here in the studio during that Ruler Foods advertisement that I was doing. So their cameras are gone. This is the JB Pritzker is after the show thought, man, Aaron Del Mar is coming after me. So we're going to, can you guys turn on your radios and tell me if you can hear, here, we should all sit real close together. We should share this microphone. So you're really just listening to us. I don't even know if we're on the air right now. Russell says radio is still out. So this is where basically we've got 104 people watching us on YouTube. We are only talking to the 104 of you through my laptop, which is running on a mobile hotspot. What?
We're ready to go back in.
I understand that. Okay. Give me a minute here. But I can't play any sound because I don't have any sound. So this is where we make our money. Unfortunately, nobody will know except for you people. All right, let's have the conversation about the YouTube live chat poll right now. Flock to the YouTube live chat poll right now. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be an interesting experience if you tune into the YouTube at this point in time. In today's political climate, which is more prevalent, let's just have the conversation right now, Ryan, in the context of Illinois.
Okay.
So this isn't how you would answer the poll and vote officially for the whole day. But let's shrink the view of this specific question for the sake of this segment. Let's shrink it to, in Illinois' political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence?
Now, this is tough for me because, as you know, I'm a swing voter. And
I thought you were going to say a swinger.
No, absolutely not. Family values, but swing voter. Went back and forth every election. I'm a rare Pritzker-Bailey voter. And so, I feel like I can speak to both sides of this issue. Although Aaron Del Mar really kind of won me over there as a Pritzker-Bailey voter.
don't say that.
I think in Illinois, oddly, it's probably barely tilted to incompetence. Although the deals they make with whoever, I mean, there's so much private gain from so much that Illinois politicians do that you'd almost say, well, that's malice. But Illinois just feels so poorly run to me that I'm going to say incompetence.
I would more than nationally, I would say malice.
Really?
I will introduce you to a man named Mike Madigan.
Thank you.
The entire foundation of the way Illinois operates, the reason that Illinois has Democrats in all of the positions is because he's in jail for it. It's not like he was, like bumbling his way through and just getting this lucky all the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking in terms of like the pension crisis and some of these things that
yes,
they could also be malice. I'm not saying they can't. I just think that it's been kicking the can down the road for so long that I would say this is just incompetent. But you're right.
I don't think it's exclusively malice.
Right.
The question is what's more prevalent. I fear there is plenty of incompetence to go around in the state of Illinois.
Thank you.
You're not welcome. I've never wanted to not be right about something.
Yeah.
I wish you could have argued with me and been like, this is why that's not true, Annie. This is why Illinois isn't incompetent or malicious.
Well, I do think that no, Illinois is so incompetent. There's a lot of people that aren't the governor, that just have a political philosophy of how to run things that I don't know that they're involved in any sort of deep corruption. Some of them might be, and we just don't know. But the amount of just sort of country club Democrat, you never really hear that term, do you? Country club Democrats in Illinois, they have no accountability. They're going to get elected. They have been elected over and over and over. That they don't do anything to better anything because they don't need to.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
And that's because the wheels are all greased by the greasiest that have come before them in the Mike Madigans of the world and all the people who he associated with. I mean, I think of corruption in the state of Illinois as a statewide issue, but if you go to like the genesis of political corruption, it really exists in Chicago.
Yeah.
There's a phrase called the Chicago way, and the Chicago way is the Chicago way because of utter corruption. Sometimes I think that they try things out in Illinois to see if they can make it replicatable in other areas around the country.
Yeah, you can hide it in Chicago.
So are you hedging incompetence?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with incompetence for Illinois.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to have Weekends America when we come back. Boomer habits. You know how Ryan loves to defend his boomer status. Boomer habits our generation hates, but are probably good for you.
I'm not that old. I'm an elder millennial.
Well, at least I got you to admit that this time. Usually he tries to shirk that responsibility as well. All right. Boomers, you've got some habits that we could learn from. We're going to talk about them next. Don't go away. Hold on. So are we on the air?
Yeah. No, not on there.
No. Well, then we should bump my live to later so that we don't have to redo it. Right?
Yeah. I don't know where we're going to put it, but
after the 1:15, we've got a spot.
Yeah.
We've got one at.
All right. I'm just going to go to break then.
Let's show our appreciation for local heroes. Our cops here nominate a first responder and their department could get lunch from Grill Master Tony's. I'll personally deliver it.
All right, just a reminder, we are hot mic.
Okay. If you suffer from burning,
you're only hearing Annie through my hotspot. Yeah, I'm reading your comments right now. Everyone is saying still no radio. As soon as the radio comes back on, will you all tell us that? Do you want to join on your phone and put a camera on you?
Can I?
Is that too much work? The computer over here is spinning on my face that has been paused in a really uncomfortable look for me. I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. I got a package delivered.
See, look, there's Ethan. That's been spinning for a while.
Yeah, okay. It looks
normal on my StreamYard out there.
Good.
As far as like.
Well, this is just because this doesn't have internet.
Right.
That's where this stopped. So you're hearing me right now on YouTube through the microphone that's on my laptop that runs all the streaming stuff from us. So here, let me show you this. Heads up, everybody.
There will be no time check. Just carry on. Just let it play.
There's Ryan.
Hey, this is how far apart we are usually.
It's in my contract. This is the minimum distance.
Yep.
Should I do the show like this?
Most hosts sit real close to each other.
Not this one.
We do not.
Minus
We're really worried
So
about
it's
our
definitely
personal
something
space.
you can
Mainly Annie.
Like the things are like wired.
I'll just do it from the top of my head.
But like down here, the purple switch.
Well, it's got to be a weird view. If you tune in every day.
Yeah, this is
it's
different.
Got to be like, wow.
This is my seat right here. This is what I look at. These beautiful faces every day. Look at Ethan. So
Ethan's
cute.
usually not in there at all, which is why she said beautiful.
Ethan's flowing hair.
That was
Ethan's flowing ginger hair.
Hey.
Hold on, I gotta clean this camera. I was gonna say I can do the show. Oops. I can do the show like this, but my microphone for the air that doesn't seem to matter right now is right here. Here, now you guys say something smart.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Come on, let's go.
Unfortunately, I don't think they can hear the song. Turn it up, Brad. Turn it up in the studio, just for us. Nobody will know but you people. All right, let's do a show. I probably made half of them throw up. Do you want to do? Should we punt? Are we still off the air?
Are we still doing Wiggins America?
No, we're gonna punt it because I want that content.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, folks.
Hi, Annie. We're all here.
Well, you guys want to like plan lunch for tomorrow or something like that?
I'm interested in planning. Here's what. Actually, I'll tell you exactly.
Hey, we're
what
still
I'm
on the air.
gonna do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do on Friday.
Yeah.
We're going to get done with our live appearance at Ruler Foods. And then I am going to shop at Ruler Foods because that is what I do. I shop and it's saving me a trip. It's one of the reasons I love doing the live remote at Ruler because not only is it a great cause, we get to meet everybody, but we also get to just shop when we're done. It's the best. I knock out two birds with one stone.
It's Russell says on the YouTube stream radio is back up, so let's get our professional pants on here.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I have to unmute my camera again because the studio.
Professional pants and regular pants.
Yeah. Can we unmute that? Thank you.
There we go. Hey, there we go.
No.
Okay. This is fun. Everybody who's on the live stream knows this is how we have fun.
Yeah, there's 100 of you who just really got to see something special. That's why you should check into the Annie Fry YouTube channel. It'll be up there. You can go back and see it later. I wonder if this works over
Annie,
here.
what's your favorite Christmas memory?
I already told you that in the last segment. How short is it? I went through the top 67.
Oh.
Someone's calling me. Should I just take this? It's probably a spammer. Hello?
This is the difference between knowing you have an audience and knowing you don't.
I think everything is back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Except
we're
for
back?
us, unfortunately. We are gone.
Yes, I think everything's back. So
well, they say
And
I
all
still
in one
sound
fell
bad.
swoop in an instant. Everything in the studio, all of the internet connection, which we only rely on slightly, just went away.
And there was smoke rising from one thing. Everything else went out, but there was smoke
Brad's
rising from
head.
one thing, and it was Brad's ears.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, this is the first time this has happened to me, so.
It's a good thing we got the Aaron Delmar interview in before all that happened.
Yeah. It was almost
We think it was J.B. Pritzker who did it, honestly.
Yeah, we think through his tech prowess, he logged in and hacked us.
I'm voting
how much tech prowess do you think that J.B. Pritzker has?
I would say probably
a 4?
Yeah, I put it at a 4. Between a 4 and a 12.
Jim Talent's going to be with us in the next hour, and at 1:30, Senator Eric Schmidt. The Republicans came out today. There's a news report that the Republicans have some health care replacement options. You use the healthcare system quite a bit. You have cystic fibrosis.
I do.
Do you have a number one complaint about the healthcare system, or is it impossible to boil it down to that?
Like just as a user of the healthcare system?
Well, I mean, the way that healthcare is covered, the system that we are forced to participate in. You know,
I do.
The Affordable Care Act guaranteed insurance companies that everyone was going to either A, have to be a client, or B, pay a penalty if they didn't participate. So that way they could take money from all participants and then pool it together to help compensate for those who can't afford it, which is kind of socialism.
Yeah, as an individual and not somebody who's talking about big policy like we usually talk about.
Yeah, just somebody who is in the business of using the healthcare system.
My number one complaint is the disconnectedness from everything that you do. Whether it be from the insurance itself, they have no real interest in fixing your problem. They actually are working against you. The doctors themselves, while I love some of my doctors very much, I have no idea how their end of it operates, the charges that they put out, what I'm end up paying in the end. There is, and look, this is stuff I actually do look into, and there's still such a complete disconnect from me, the patient, to the care via the healthcare industry, the health insurance industry, that if I can't figure it out, I don't expect that anybody in the country is figuring that out. And when we have a complete disconnect like that, well, it makes care more expensive. It makes care harder. It makes everything harder because there's red tape all over the place. And the original intent to go in and just get treated gets lost in just bureaucratic crap.
My biggest frustration with it, and the most experience I've had with it is having 4 babies, is that the buck stopper literally is the insurance company. That your care comes after what the insurance companies say is right. And it's not even about like super big, if there was some sort of incredibly expensive care that you were offered to receive and the insurance company's like, well, we're not going to pay for all of that, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about like simple, basic things where your doctor says you need to take this medication and they're like, you are going to have to take these other medications first.
Yeah.
And see if they work because they're cheaper.
Right, for us.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
It's unbelievable that
you are
that's
the
where we're
last
at.
person to be considered in the process of your own health care because of this stupid system that has elevated the insurance companies to the top of the pyramid and you being at the bottom one. How do we empower the actual patient to be at the top of that, to use their insurance dollars, their coverage dollars, to spend it where it really matters the most for them? Jim Talent, Eric Schmidt, next hour.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
AirComfortService.com. You can call Air Comfort directly at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Have you experienced some discomfort at your work? Have you been dealing with a old, tired furnace system that's not really doing the trick anymore? Your comfort zone is nowhere near to be found. Today's kind of a nicer day, and my understanding is it's going to get icky again later this week. Very cold, very frigid, and you dread going to those days, or if you're the owner of that business, you dread having to have people come in because it's going to be cold because the furnace isn't working correctly. Air Comfort Service does commercial repairs. If you call 314-513-0091, if you're looking at a steep repair bill, if you're questioning a quoted repair that you already got, Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation can give you a free second opinion on heat exchanger or compressor repairs. They have won a bunch of awards. You can check them out on their website as well, but give them a call directly at 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code NEXT for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code NEXT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code NEXT.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Lisa Brady, Fox News. New proposals on the way after a hearing on child exploitation online.
Tamia Woods told the Senate Judiciary Committee her 17-year-old track athlete son James, who had loved chess and wanted to study law, killed himself after what he thought was a girl on Instagram asking for a private image of him, then using that image to extort money.
They escalated, sending his image to friends and family, telling him he would be labeled a pedophile, telling him his future was over, telling him you should just kill yourself.
Judiciary Committee Chairman Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley is now proposing 3 bills meant to increase penalties for perpetrators of these crimes, including one that would create a new crime against forcing children to harm themselves or others or animals.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Those bills a bipartisan effort with the committee's ranking Democrat, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin. Netflix is now being sued by a consumer over its planned takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery's studio and streaming business. A proposed class action lawsuit filed by an HBO Max subscriber says the deal could reduce competition, an argument some members of Congress have made as well. President Trump also signaling possible antitrust concerns. But Netflix calls the suit meritless. Paramount has launched a hostile takeover bid challenging the Netflix deal with Warner Brothers shareholders. President Trump heads to Pennsylvania later today, bringing his economic message that things are moving in the right direction. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt telling Fox,
gas prices are at their lowest point in 5 years. This is all thanks to President Trump's economic agenda. There's a lot more work to do, and he'll talk more about that tonight. But this is going to be President Trump's bread and butter issue, focused on the economy.
This after recent wins for Democrats leaning into affordability issues heading into next year's midterms. The Fed holding its latest meeting, though still missing some economic reports because of the government shutdown. A rate cut decision due tomorrow. America is listening to Fox News.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Not bad at all for a change. Sunny skies, 55 for the high. Tonight, lots of clouds, windy. The northwest wind returns in time. 44 the low. Wednesday, partly sunny, turning colder with a strong northwest flow, gusty winds, 40s in the morning, upper 30s in the afternoon. Then a couple of snow flurries on Wednesday night at 28. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Tuesday, December 9th. We are so close to Christmas. Remember when I said that in June and you guys were like, oh my gosh, don't say that. And then now it's Christmas.
We were like, oh my gosh, don't say that. And now it's almost Christmas.
Mm-hmm. It was exactly like that.
It was exactly like that.
The narco boat strikes. Do you have a general reaction to that?
Yeah. I think people are overreact. I think people who typically overreact to anything Trump does are overreacting to what Trump does. Because this seems like such a no-brainer. In fact, polling shows that people support it overall. You're knocking out drug cartels. I get that you can have a debate over how to do it, but overall, this is a good thing that the administration is doing.
I think about a lot of times people, if you're having a conversation back and forth, the first thing that people on the right will say is, Obama was drone striking a wedding. the drone strikes that took place under the Obama administration, not something immediately that was incredibly maligned by a lot of the folks who on the left right now are very aggressively, as you said, due to the anti-Trump nature of the situation, very anti-narco boat strike. I'm going to play this clip for you here because I think that this is the mentality that a lot of people have. You have Representative Adam Smith, he's a Democrat from Washington, reacting this way.
But even worse than that, the notion is that cocaine still could have gotten to the United States, and they're treating that cocaine like it's a weapon. Basically, they're treating that image of those two people on that boat like a situation where, I don't know, you see a car bomb headed towards an embassy or something. It's struck, it seems like it's incapacitated, but is it incapacitated? We don't know. There's still a couple people there. Maybe they can complete the mission. Maybe they can get that bomb to the building and blow it up. And that, too, is kind of absurd.
So Congressman Smith, they're saying that the Trump administration is treating cocaine like a weapon. Well, I guess the question is it a weapon? Let's bring our friend, former Senator Jim Talent, on to the show with us, also chairman of the Reagan Institute's National Leadership Council. Senator, thank you for the time today. It's always good to speak with you.
Thank you, Annie, and right back at you.
So when you're watching the political back and forth regarding the, legality, the constitutionality of these narco boat strikes, you've got a congressman here saying that he disagrees with it because, the cocaine isn't actually a weapon. What are your thoughts on Pete Hegseth, the Department of War, and the administration's efforts to get to these boats before they get to our shores?
I'm all for what the administration's doing, and of course it's a threat to the United States. These cartels, they're hybrids, okay? So they're part criminal gangs and they're part irregular armies. And they're not the only groups that are like that. The Islamic radical groups are like that. Pirates are like that. And elements of the United States Armed Forces have been fighting those groups in different contexts. For centuries, really, if you talk about the pirates. The Coast Guard's been fighting the cartels. The Coast Guard is a uniformed service of the United States Armed Forces. And so I want them to knock as many of these boats out as they can, and not only because it stops those shipments and deters other shipments. I doubt there's a whole lot of people volunteering now to be sailors on those boats. But also because when we take them out, the cartels have to react. They have to move money. They have to find new supplies. And that lights up their logistic networks. And so we watch what they do, and then we get really valuable intelligence. So, yeah, I think it's now it's not the only thing we need to do. Trump is also engaged in a maximum pressure campaign on Venezuela, and not just because of the cartels, also because Venezuela is an outpost for our adversaries in the Western Hemisphere. All of this is discussed in the new national security strategy. I think it's really important going forward that we secure our own strategic environment in the Western Hemisphere. And there's a number of things the administration is trying to do. And I think it's long past time we did them.
Yeah, certainly. Former Senator Jim Talent speaking with us right now. So let me ask you this, Senator. When we, I've seen the videos, the I guess military-based like radar or whatever videos that show the boat is moving and then it is kabooming and it is gone. Yeah. Some people are saying those might be fishermen boats. How do we know that there's cocaine? How do we know the malicious intent of these boats in these waters?
Well, we collect good intelligence, and it's scrubbed, and the targets are carefully chosen. Now, listen, if they take out a fishing boat and that's discovered, then there's going to be consequences and accountability. Same as if we intend to remember when Clinton thought he was getting Osama bin Laden. Well, you don't remember. You're not old enough. But in the 90s, he thought he was getting Osama bin Laden with the Tomahawk strike, and it turned out he was bombing a pill factory. And he took a lot of political heat over that. But we have very good intelligence. I think if any of these had not been drug boats, we would have known it by now, given all the criticism of it. And this is warfare. I mean, you do the best you can. Our military is very good at identifying high-quality targets. In the lead-in, you mentioned that Obama engaged in a number of drone strikes against terrorists, and I was always in support of that. It is a tool that we need to protect the American people, and we're entitled to use it.
We're speaking with Senator Jim Talent, former United States Senator from Missouri, former congressman, as well as the chairman of the Reagan Institute's National Leadership Council. You mentioned a little bit about Venezuela there. Can you give us a precursor to what is actually happening in Venezuela? Of course, the interest with the drug trafficking that comes out of there, but you just said yourself that there's a little bit more to that. What should people know about our interest in Venezuela?
The concern here is yes, Maduro is tied at the hip with the cartels, and that is used. I mean, it's not just, again, a criminal gang. It's a tool of statecraft to attack the United States, to undermine us socially and civically. He's also hosted Russian warships. He's an outpost for Chinese influence. And, of course, the Cuban security service really is highly instrumental in keeping him in power. So we have a real interest in trying to pressure him either to change his policies or to step down. The administration has, I think, been properly engaged in a kind of strategic ambiguity about exactly what it is we want to do. But what we are doing is sending a message to everybody that we intend to take care of our back porch. In other words, that we don't like outposts of foreign adversaries in the Western Hemisphere. That goes back to the Monroe Doctrine. We don't like it when those outposts do things like ship drugs into the United States and engage in other kinds of disruptive activities. So we have to wait to see. Now, we're not going to invade Venezuela, but I think it's possible that we could take out some high quality targets in country. That's a decision the president's going to have to make. Or it could be that he's simply pressuring with the threat of that. So again, we'll see going forward, but everybody's recognized that Venezuela is a major problem, and now we're trying to do something about it.
We're speaking with Jim Talent here on the Andy Fry Show. I want to shift gears to a whole different part of the globe because China continues to be the other main superpower that it feels like most conversations lead back to. But what about China? And I was having a conversation with somebody who was discussing the possibility, the likelihood that Taiwan becomes the the interest of China to the extent that they decide to try to take Taiwan, and the United States would have some sort of obligation there. I'm curious about your thoughts on how aggressively China is looking to approach doing something in Taiwan, if that's a realistic thing in the near future.
Well, Annie, there is no question that absorbing Taiwan is a core interest of the Chinese state. It has been for decades. They have one of the priority missions of the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, is to prepare for an invasion. I mean, they've conducted training exercises where they've constructed mock versions of the Taiwanese presidential palace and assaulted it. I mean, their preparations. For example, their commercial barge industry has been prepared so that they can carry troops if necessary. In other words, they can be adapted to do that. This is a core interest of the Chinese state. It's a national interest. It isn't even a communist thing. And Xi Jinping has declared his intention to settle the issue on obviously on favorable terms to them before he leaves power. Now, that is a different thing from saying that they're going to engage that they're going to resolve it militarily, that they're going to have a blockade or try a blockade or an invasion. I think they're using a combination of tactics to disrupt the Taiwanese democracy, to undermine the will of the Taiwanese to resist, to apply all kinds of diplomatic and economic pressure. That is, it's classic Chinese strategy in the belief that they can pressure Taiwan into signing an agreement for a relationship that will eventually allow them to absorb the island. That's what they wanted to do with Hong Kong and tried to do it eventually. They just marched in when they had the opportunity. And they could try that with Taiwan. If I had to guess, I don't think the balloon goes up in the near future. I think they're going to continue this strategy in the belief that it's going to succeed because, first of all, Taiwan would be a pretty tough nut to crack. Second, they don't know whether we would defend Taiwan, and they don't want a war with the United States. And third, that would expose their intentions for East Asia so clearly that it would likely give rise to a very determined anti-Chinese coalition, which they don't want.
Yeah.
And it was indeed the sort of foreshadowing of that is one of the reasons the president just took his trip all throughout Asia, because he was sending a signal that a lot of countries want an economic partnership with the United States. You notice he firmed up the relationship with Japan. So it's definitely a threat. It's something I worry about. If the competition or conflict with China goes into the military domain, it will be over Taiwan. And that is a very scary scenario because the odds that they will attack the homeland, I'm not talking about nuclear, but I think cyber attacks are very likely. And then, of course, we will respond. And escalating armed conflict with a peer competitor is not something we want. So deterrence in the Indo-Pacific is really important, but it's very difficult now because, frankly, we're outgunned, outmanned, and outranged militarily within the second island chain.
Is it in your judgment, is Pete Hegseth, the Department of War, the Trump administration, are they improving our ability to compete in a conflict like that? Are we headed in the right direction with our military strength?
Yes, across a broad number of fronts, including modernization with AI, quantum computing, hypersonics, as well as rebuilding our shipbuilding and maritime industry. That is a key priority of the administration. And I've said this for years, Annie, power is the product of intention and capability. Intention can change quickly, but capability can't. I can't flip a switch and produce a missile frigate or a shipyard, and we're behind. Now, in the modernization areas, it's a much more mixed sort of picture. There's some areas where I think we're still ahead as an AI. There are others, as like hypersonics, where we're behind. But, it's the 11th hour, frankly, militarily. And, I wrote my first column about China in 2013. And I said that then they were the dominant military power in the East and South China Sea. So we've got a long way to go, and we don't have a lot of time to get there.
Yes, as they say. Senator Jim Talent, thank you for the time today. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Thank you, Annie.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Former United States Senator from Missouri, Congressman and Chairman of the Reagan Institute's National Leadership Council. On X at Jim Talent. All right, let's break real quick here. The YouTube poll for today. In today's political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence? We'll see how the conversation goes, but Senator Eric Schmidt is going to be with us at the bottom of the hour at 1:30, and we're going to talk to him about the Republican effort to fix health care in this country. It's a big discussion, certainly going to be one here in the next month or so as they try to get the appropriations bills passed. We're going to also talk to him about a lot of the immigration stuff that's taking place in this country, the efforts of H-1B reform that needs to take place. Just lots on the docket there for Senator Eric Schmidt at 1:30. We'll be right back. Okay, so let's talk about the Diamond Shop. December is definitely a time where you probably might want to just swing by, even if you don't know if you're going to make a purchase. Boy, go into the Diamond Shop and see some of the amazing things they have taking place right now. The month of December, the Diamond Shop is holding a food drive for the HKJ Food Pantry. A donation of 5 canned goods or $10 is going to get you an extra discount off your purchase for up to 10% off or $500 off one item. That's fantastic. If you're purchasing more than one gift, multiple donations will get multiple discounts. Don't forget, at the Diamond Shop, you can become a VIP as well. You often get access to special different kinds of deals that might be taking place any particular month. And to sign up to become a VIP, all you got to do is go to thediamondshop.net. That's thediamondshop.net and sign up. There's a really quick little form right there, and then you're going to get access to whatever happens to be the sale at the given moment. Right now, you get a free gift as a VIP with a $250 or more purchase. So reach out to the Diamond Shop if you have questions for them. They buy jewelry, they appraise jewelry, they can fix jewelry. You can buy, the most beautiful things there. 6 months same as cash financing as well. Thediamondshop.net.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
Setting goals for your retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another. For tips on building a better nest egg, listen to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 6 or Saturday afternoon at 4, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is hiring residential garage door technicians and installers. Join the team trusted here since 1926. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. We will train motivated applicants to repair and install garage doors. Mechanical, carpentry, and service industry experience is a plus. Hiring bonus up to $4,000. Benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in St. Louis. Apply today at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
What stresses you out about the holidays? Maybe it's getting that house just perfectly clean. If that's the case, call my friends at Zero Res. Mark Cox here. Is your house ready for the holidays? Well, here's your phone number, 314-474-2020. That gets you to Zero Res. Here's the deal. If you need your season to be jolly and you don't want to stress out and you want to make sure the house is perfectly clean to impress your in-laws and your friends when they come over, just remember, you can Zero Res anything. They can do grout and tile and carpet and air ducts and hardwood. It is for your home and your business. Zero Res can handle it all. They do it with zero residue, no harsh chemicals or cleaners, and your house is beautiful. Go ahead and get it clean. Don't miss out. Call 314-474-2020. Tell them you want the 97.1 special. The spots are filling up fast. Go to ZeroResSTL.com.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
$930 million after a winner wasn't drawn last night.
I hate these situations because I feel like I should buy a ticket just to be a part of everything. But the problem is, last time this happened, how long ago was that? Was that like April or something?
No. When I was at a volleyball tournament, it would have been like September.
Oh, that was much more
Yes,
recent.
and it's gotten up the super high in between that time.
So the last time that we all were talking about it and we bought tickets,
It was during the Green Park Lutheran Grade School volleyball tournament.
I'm glad you've attached that to something because I never would have. I still haven't turned in those tickets, and I won $4. So I feel like I'm really the wrong person to play the lottery. I'm
September. Did they draw? Do they draw on Saturdays? Like we know. I think they draw on Saturdays.
Oh,
I think it was September 6th.
okay.
That's the date. I remember because I bought it at a gas station in between games.
I did too. In between games too.
Yeah, in between my daughter's.
I just couldn't remember
games.
which games.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly playing games.
It was a quick trip.
But I won on both tickets because they both had one number right or something, and it was the right number.
Yeah.
And so I still have them in my car. I just never turn them in because I need to make.
Would you turn it in
trip.
if you won $930 million?
Probably a little quicker.
Yeah.
But not immediately.
Well, I just want to let everyone out there know. And that was one. That one. Somebody in a St. Louis Quick Trip won that one. And I bought mine at a St. Louis Quick Trip only on the south side of the city, and this one was sold on the north side.
I was going to say, I remember it being on the north side of the city,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't remember the Quick Trip.
I was laying in bed, and they had woke up the next morning, I think, when they reported it, and I was like looking at my phone, and I was like, oh, somebody won. St. Louis. Quick Trip. North City. So close.
Did we ever find out the name and address of that person?
No. Did you try?
We could.
Why are you saying we?
Seems like something we should do.
We should not.
We should just seek them out.
We should leave them alone.
Offer them a position. Offer them Ethan's position, actually.
Okay.
Just to be friends.
With whom?
With the guy.
With the money.
Well, with his money, sure. I mean, that's part of the package deal, I guess, of friendship.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about the lottery a little bit later in the show. Are you buying a Powerball ticket? The next drawing, I think they do them. I think it's on Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, but I don't know. We'll get some details here. It is up to $930 million. Last jackpot winner split $1.787 billion in September. That's the sub-headline there. But I can tell you it was September 6th. So
he split it? He had to split it up?
Well, more. I think a couple people won.
Oh, never mind. I don't care about him anymore.
Unbelievable. Well, I still care about you.
Ethan, you can still have your job now.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to connect with Senator Eric Schmidt. Lots to talk about with the American Mortgage. He's the bagel loan guy, and he could be your bagel loan guy with a simple phone call, even a text message, straight to his phone. This number that I'm going to give you right now, this is Stewie's phone number, 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information on how to acquire your mortgage through Stewart's American Mortgage. And when you go to close on it, $0 in closing costs. You don't have to pay anything. Thousands of dollars can stay right there in your pocket as you close on that new mortgage on that new home, or refinance if you want to improve your loan situation, shave years off the length of your loan. Maybe you need to make the loan longer. I don't want you to have to do that, but maybe you do. You can also improve your rate if rates have come down from when you closed initially on the one that you have. But you can also tap into a bagel loan cash out refinance, where use that money to work for you. If you are looking for the best deal in the game, you're looking for Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, do what I did. Call my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's here with me today. Gloria is a St. Louis real estate expert with over 22 years of experience and expertise helping you sell fast and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now. It's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Bradley was totally justified in a decision he made. A decision, by the way, that was broadcast on multiple secure screens at the Pentagon in Fort Bragg, and that hundreds of people watched in real time with probably dozens of JAG lawyers. So what the Washington Post said last week was a complete lie. They owe an apology to Pete Hegseth, and especially they owe an apology to Admiral Mitch Bradley. He is a highly decorated career Navy SEAL.
So you have Senator Tom Cotton there talking about the narco boat strikes, and he's saying not only the justification of what Pete Hegseth and the Department of War is doing, he says that those individuals who have been implicated in what is being referred to now as a hoax, that they deserve an apology. Let's bring our guest on, Senator Eric Schmidt, representing the state of Missouri in the United States Senate. Senator, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you.
Good to be with you, Annie.
So give me your thoughts on the narco boat strikes. I get a lot of comments in our YouTube chat from our lefty friends who spend their afternoons with us. And a lot of them are assessing the fact, saying we don't even know that there are cocaine on these boats. These could be just innocent fishermen out there that we're bombing out of the water.
Right, Ernest Hemingway carrying in his big marlin. That's all that's happening. It's all.
And in comes Pete Hegseth. Yeah.
The legal justification here is 100% accurate. 100 out of 100 times from a legal perspective, the president has the ability under his core Article 2 powers as commander-in-chief to take them out. So here's kind of how it works. Congress has delegated the authority to the chief executive, the president, to designate terrorist organizations. President Trump has done that. He's designated these cartels as terrorist organizations. The president then indicated to Congress that he was going to initiate these strikes against narco-terrorists on the high seas, because what's happening is they're no longer coming across the southern border. They're now in the Caribbean on their way to the United States, and he's notified Congress he's going to do it. Barack Obama never did any of that kind of stuff, by the way. He's notified he's going to do it, and he's doing it. We've had briefings all along the way. I reviewed the 40-plus page Office of Legal Counsel memo noting the historical and legal precedent to do it. Now, our friends on the left may have a policy objection to this, right? They may not think we should be doing it, but to pretend that the president isn't authorized under the law and under the Constitution to do it is wrong. So, again, the Democrats continue to find themselves with their sympathy card with narco-terrorists and cartel members, not with the 100,000 Americans that die every year from the poison. So President Trump said, hey, we're going to have our interests in the Western Hemisphere will be respected. We're not going to allow you to bring these drugs in through these high-speed boats that you're using. And so we're going to blow them out of the water. They're on notice. There's legal justification. And it's just kind of that simple. There's really not a lot of debate about it, except the Democrats just want to churn chaos. They want to be controversial all the time, and everything's illegal, even though it's not illegal. That's really what we're dealing with.
We're speaking with Senator Eric Schmitt here on the Annie Fry Show. We played a clip a little bit earlier. Was speaking with one of your predecessors in the Senate, Jim Talon. We were talking about the narco boats, and we played this clip from Congressman Adam Smith, and he said that it's absurd that the Trump administration is treating cocaine like it's a weapon. Is it that simple? I mean, is that an oversimplification of what's happening here?
Yeah, look, yes. And I think that they don't like it. This is the same guy, and I followed him on This Week with George Stephanopoulos this week. He was on before me. They've lost the argument. Like, if you remember a week ago, they were saying these were war crimes, and they're not. So they've backed away from that. So they didn't. It's not the second strike. It's really the first strike in this particular instance that they have a problem with, because they don't want President Trump to go do this. This is the same party that threw open our border. And the cartels, literally, when I was down there as Attorney General, we went to the border. The cartels own every square inch of what comes into the country by way of the southern border, and then lanes of distribution once they're in the United States. These people don't mess around, right? And so President Trump shut that off. Now they're going by, like I said, by way of the high seas. And so I guess he could call the poison that kills 100,000 Americans not a real threat. I think that it is. And many of us know friends, cousins, family members, neighbors, people we went to school with who've died from fentanyl overdoses. And we've had a lot of people talk about it for a long time. Fentanyl that's, laced in cocaine overdoses. Now, fentanyl does absolutely drive the overdose deaths in this country, but not by itself.
Yeah.
And we have a president, again, that's kind of focused on the Western Hemisphere and American interest, as opposed to sending troops overseas to build a democracy in the sands of the Middle East through the barrel of a gun like we've seen over the last 30 years.
Senator Eric Schmitt speaking with us here. I think about this administration so far, just being not even 25% through his second term in office. There's so much action taking place. There's just a ton of talking and pontificating, and watching Joe Biden for 4 years. Everything they did was kind of finger in the wind. What's the best political move next? President Trump seems to be taking a lot of action without care or concern what the folks like Congressman Smith are going to say. He seems to be principled in his understanding of what the problem is, and he's willing to go root it out and take care of the problem at the source. And he's met enormous legal challenges from it. Talk to me a little bit with your great experience of understanding the court systems and how, states can try to sue, or local courts try to push back against a lot of the different policies of this administration. And then it gets up to the Supreme Court. We're going to see the Supreme Court apparently pick up that actual conversation on the merits of the birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment. What about the legal challenges against this administration? They're willing to still act.
Sure. And by the way, honestly, it kind of the subject of the book that I wrote, The Last Line of Defense, How to Beat the Left in Court. Really what we were doing when I was Attorney General against the Biden administration was fighting the excesses of an administration that wanted to do things that the law didn't allow, right? And we were largely successful, whether it was on the COVID shot, the mandate on that, or the student loan debt forgiveness case, those sorts of things. They were trying to expand the authority even though it didn't exist. Really what President Trump is trying to do is to enforce the laws that we currently have on, like, just say, take, for example, immigration. And as these cases, the news might get peppered with a lower court victory for the left on this, but as they've made their way to the appellate courts and the Supreme Court, the Trump administration has been very successful in winning. John Sauer, who's the Solicitor General of the United States, winning those cases. He was mine when I was Missouri AG. I think they have like a 24-2 record as it's made its way to the court. A lot of those are going to continue to play out. The birthright citizenship case, for example, that'll get heard next year. The framers, or I should say, the authors or the drafters of the 14th Amendment never intended this to be for people who weren't loyal to the United States or came here. The 14th Amendment really, and that provision was meant to address the sons and daughters of freed slaves, so that it was ensured that they would actually be citizens when they were born here. It was never mean, for example, which you could take to the logical extreme here, is if an invading army came and the wives of, let's say, somebody from another country, and then they had a child here, it was never meant to be the conquering soldiers' kids were somehow U.S. citizens. And that's the same argument that the left will make here, is that, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the circumstances. If you're born here, that's the only thing that matters. That's never what that was intended to be. So that's going to be heard next year. But you look at these deportation cases, President Trump has been successful. You look at him trying to peel back the authority of the federal government by firing people because he's the chief executive, or, winding down some of the 40% of the hires we had under the Biden administration. Of course he can do those things. So whether it's on personnel and immigration, which have been kind of the two big hotspots on the legal front, President Trump, by and large, has been successful, and I would expect that to remain the same.
We're speaking with Senator Eric Schmidt here on the Annie Frey Show. I'm curious if the Supreme Court were to rule and say kind of the argument that you're making with the original intent of what that 14th Amendment was supposed to mean, specifically in the time frame of slavery and all of that, and not mean that we could have an anchor baby system that we have right now. Does that become retroactive? How does that become implemented when it's been the case for so long?
Yeah, my guess is that it would probably be prospective. That would be an issue for the court. And, the Roberts Court typically is an incrementalist court by and large. That's his tendency. So, who knows what they might do on that. But I do think it would be an important precedent to establish, because this has never really been litigated in the way that it's being litigated right now. There was a case way back, over 100 years ago that, again, has been built out to mean something that it was never intended to mean, and certainly the 14th Amendment. So we'll see. That'll be, a big ticket item in next year's term. But again, President Trump, by and large, has been very successful in his agenda. And he was pretty clear about it when he ran, and he was elected a year ago. He's going to take on illegal immigration. He's going to take on, we hear a lot about now these issues of affordability. Of course they matter to people, but you got to remember the disaster that the Biden administration left, right? Like, yes. You saw skyrocketing prices on everything. Homes were twice as much to get into a home as they were when he came into office. The average age now of a first-time home buyer, because of all that mess, is almost 40 years old. So it's going to take a little while to unwind it. I think we're headed down the right path here. The middle-class tax cut that we did this summer, the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, once that stuff actually goes into effect, people are going to have more purchasing power. We've got a secure border now. We're much stronger on our national defense. There's a lot of things, I think, now with the runway heading into next year, people are going to be able to see in their daily lives.
Well, one of the main topics that came out of the government shutdown, the Democrats tried to shut the whole thing down because the healthcare system in this mess that they installed is a mess, and they want to throw more government dollars at it, subsidies, to fix an unaffordable healthcare system. Now we find out today, Alex Miller from Fox News reports that Senate Republicans unveil plan to replace Obamacare subsidies with health savings accounts. President Trump says he wants to give the American people the money and let them make the decisions. What's the Senate Republican force going to do here for Americans who want a better healthcare system?
Yeah, so what you got to remember is, so Obamacare was enacted when Democrats used the unusual method at the time of reconciliation, meaning only needed 51 votes. Because if you remember, the 60 vote threshold, they thought they had it, but then Ted Kennedy died. The state of Massachusetts sent a Republican to stop it. So then they went through reconciliation, did Obamacare. These COVID bonuses that are really the subject of discussion. So about half of 1% of people receive this subsidy that was the Democrats wanted to be temporary. So if you made over 400% of the federal poverty level, there was a subsidy then, so there was no cap. That's really what's expiring at the end of this year. So Democrats have tried to conflate this to all the premium increases are because of that expiring. No, all the premium increases, 200+% that you've seen since Obamacare came into effect was because the Democrats have a terrible policy with Obamacare. No cost, reduction at all, expanded coverage, lots of fraud, but people were dropped from their good employer plans for some terrible bronze plan that they got stuck with. So what are the Republicans offering as an alternative? Democrats are going to just try to extend those COVID era subsidies that they, again, said should expire. What we're going to do is talk about actually having that money go to people instead of insurance companies, because those subsidies, Annie, they go to insurance companies.
Right.
So like if you have some broker that signed up, 40% of them, by the way, that were signed up never used the plan. A lot of people never even, because there's no premium, they didn't even know they had it, or there's ripe with fraud. Like they just did a recent sort of test case on this. 97 out of 100 fraudulent people that didn't exist were able to sign up for this plan. So there's so much fraud. It's so wasteful. So it's a mess. What we're saying is give the money instead of insurance companies. Give that help to people with a HSA account, meaning they can control where they purchase insurance from. That's what's the missing piece of all this has always been is consumers were totally cut out of the equation, right? There's no transparency. People don't get to choose anything. It's sort of foisted on them by government and they usually don't like it. And oh, by the way, it's multiple times more expensive than it was just a few years ago. So we're going to have that debate and we'll have probably dueling plans here. We'll see what ultimately happens. But Republicans do want to offer solutions here, but I think it's important for people to remember what a disaster Obamacare has been for working families.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really a bipartisan. I think fixing the healthcare system is way beyond 80-20 issue for the most of the American people. Before we let you go, you mentioned John Sauer has a 24-2 record or something in his court cases. And I was going to make a college football playoff joke there, but I had other real questions that I wanted to ask you beforehand. Like, he's probably not getting in the playoffs either. Our household is a Notre Dame household. My husband said should have beat Miami, and then he wouldn't have to worry about the bias in the system. I got to hear what Senator Eric Schmidt thinks about the playoff system for college football.
No, it needs to be expanded. So actually this NIL issue is going to come before Congress because essentially there's been these lawsuits. They've been resolved by the courts, but ultimately Congress is going to have to weigh in and potentially give antitrust exemption to some governing body to set the rules, right? Now, here's my take on it is that this system has actually allowed insurgent programs like take Ole Miss, take Mizzou, to kind of take on the blue bloods who could, like Nick Saban, he could stash 4 deep at quarterback, stash 4 deep at middle linebacker and hoard a lot of the talent. And a lot of other teams weren't able to access it. Now with the transfer portal, teams like Mizzou, think of Wilson, who was one of our speed rushers on the outside, right? We were able to get him from Georgia. He made a huge impact. So it has allowed, I think, a greater diffusion of talent in college football. It makes it more interesting, which is a good thing. There probably ought to be some kind of limits on the number of transfers, how many times you can actually transfer, some things like that. But ultimately, the revenue that's coming into college football is only going to grow. That's a good thing. I love college football. I love SEC football. I think that's a good thing. But if you're going to have that diffusion of talent now, you ought to have a bigger field so that more teams can actually make a play. So I think they're going to go to 16 next year anyway, but you probably ought to have a situation, maybe have 24, maybe have more play-in games. So it's less of a beauty contest, right, by people sitting in a room selecting this thing and kind of more play-in opportunities where more teams can compete because you do have legitimately teams that are 15, 16 teams out that could maybe make a run and win the national championship. Notre Dame's included in that for sure. I think their biggest challenge was, and I grew up as a Catholic kid in St. Louis, I like Notre Dame, but when you lose to Miami, it makes it hard, right, in the head-to-head. But I think if you expanded the field a little bit more, you'd have more competition. I think it makes it more fun. The revenue goes through the roof because, truth be told, college football for athletic departments now really funds all the other sports. And I do think we want to make sure we're protecting a lot of those other sports. As somebody that played college sports, including college baseball, I think it's just important to make sure you have a lot of people are participate, women's sports included.
Yeah, amen to that. And if you see him around, I blame Secretary of State Marco Rubio for his cabinet meeting comment. My husband was a little salty after that. So if Donald Trump and Marco Rubio got in there and got Miami in, I just want to say from us Notre Dame fans, shame on them.
Well,
Other
Rubio,
than that, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, Rubio's a big Florida guy. His son actually plays for Florida, but I think he had to kind of say something about a team from his home state.
I like Marco Rubio so much that I was even entertained by his anti-Notre Dame comments in the cabinet meeting. He can't help but make you smile. Senator Schmidt, we love talking to you. Thanks for being with us. Merry Christmas to you.
All right, Merry Christmas, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, fine. Notre Dame's not in the playoffs. We continue to talk about it. I appreciate so much Senator Schmidt's willingness to come on here and really talking about the fearlessness that the Republicans have in thinking outside of the box. If you're paying attention to what this administration has done, there have been, in my estimation, maybe I'm paying more close attention because I've been watching the lead up to this for a long time, but it feels like we're thinking outside of the box. And like I said earlier, this administration has just acted. They don't really sit around and wring their hands over the political fallout. I don't think they care.
And it's not in one particular area. It's not as if you said, oh, Donald Trump's going to be great on the economy. We're just going to elect him on that, or just immigration.
Find an area where he's not doing it.
He's doing stuff everywhere as much as possible. It's full throttle all the time.
Yeah.
That is why he was elected, though.
Because he's a doer.
To do things and do things differently and fix problems.
All right, let's take a quick break. 2:00 Wiggins America? Do you have enough to fill? I don't know how good your content is today.
We could do it now or we could do it later.
Those are my options.
Because I can do either one.
We're going to do it at 2:05.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit more about the YouTube live chat poll in just a minute. In today's political climate, what's more prevalent, malice or incompetence? We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If you have a surface area outside your home and your walkways and your patios, you've all closed up, winterized your pool decks and everything. Is the concrete having a little bit of an issue there? If you're running around that patio area and you're barefoot and you've got concrete that's split and then over the course of time it's settled a little bit and it's uneven, you need to get that fixed. And it's not incredibly punitive to do it. You need an expert, though. Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair is the expert, the local guy, the local family-owned and operated business that you've been looking for. Make that concrete evened out. Solve that problem at 314-227-9636. That's 314-227-9636. You can find them online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Reach into all of the different things that they do there, including that concrete lifting, basement waterproofing, other foundation repair. All the info you need on their website and the ability to contact them at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Give something that means something. Roll up your sleeve at the Odyssey Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross, December 16th through the 19th at multiple locations. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or at redcrossblood.org. Enter sponsor code Odyssey for a drive near you.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code NEXT for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code NEXT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code NEXT.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Where do you go for your annual eye health examination? Ophthalmology Associates, of course. Doctors Greg Birdie and Ranjan Malhotra. Dr. Robert Bersati, he's the one I saw. Or Dr. Andrew Royer. They are available to you and are there to take care of all your vision needs at Ophthalmology Associates. They're on Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270. Your vision is their business at Ophthalmology Associates. In fact, many of their patients are doctors themselves. That's why they call themselves the doctors, Ophthalmology Associates. Are your eyes itchy and scratchy? It could be more than just allergies. They're the leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. They're the leaders in LASIK and discussing those procedures. And if you're having difficulty reading or driving at night, you have glare from oncoming headlights, could be early signs of cataracts, and they can talk to you about multifocal lens implants. Ophthalmology Associates, youridoc.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is, in today's political climate, which is more prevalent? Is it malice or incompetence? I like this question. I find this question to be very difficult. Let us know what you think, and we'll give you the results of this poll at the end of the show, as usual. 1:53, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back. I love speaking to Senator Schmidt, and I love it when we talk to him. Usually we have a lot of these people will be 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. But he gave us a solid 20. So pretty cool for that. Yeah.
I just love seeing him do national interviews, too. He is so good at them.
He's so comfortable. Do you know why he's good at them? Because he looks like he's a normal person.
Well, also he's so intelligent that you can move from any topic to another, and he's like, yeah, I'm on it. And he knows everything you need to know about it.
Well,
it's not easy to do.
Let's do a quick segue into a new feature here on the Annie Fry Show.
It's time to get fresh content from Miss Now.
MS Now.
Sorry, MS Now.
All right, so this is where we just take a little dip in over at ms.now, which is MSNBC, and we just think it's the stupidest name ever, so we're making fun of it. I'm going to read you some headlines. You guys can tell me if you want to hear more. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the first one, this is such an MSNBC way of saying this. Why Notre Dame football's snobbish refusal to play in a bowl game this year matters.
Okay. Okay, so they're all down on Notre Dame.
Yeah. Trump's football troubles take a weird turn as he eyes new name, quote, for the NFL stuff.
Now I am kind of intrigued because I don't know what they're talking about.
Here's another one. Lashing out at women in media. Trump can't seem to help himself.
Okay, well that's par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not.
No.
This is all under the headline Trump's agenda.
I don't know. The NFL stuff one is intriguing to me because I don't know what their angle is or what they're even talking about.
Here's another one. SCOTUS poised to, quote, destroy the structure of government.
Oh.
In Trump v. Slaughter case.
I've actually read their angle on that. It's terrible.
Trump's role in the Warner Brothers Discovery sale is straight out of the Orban playbook.
Trump.
Johnson was having an exhausting week, then Stefanik jumped in.
Oh. Okay.
They're not okay. They're not doing all right over at Ms. Now.
No, they're not. Man, I kind of want to know more about the
NFL one, but also the Notre Dame one's kind of interesting.
No, there was another one in there that we don't have time for it now, but the opinion that I've seen from dissenters against what the Supreme Court was questioning about the fourth branch of government, basically in the deep state, is so stupid that I almost want to hear it. But not quite.
Not enough. Last headline, Sydney Sweeney still doesn't get it. What are they trying to make her get?
They don't like her either, huh?
Don't you know you're oppressed? You're a woman. Don't you know where you rank? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm getting from Ms. Now.
Huh.
Which you can't even go to msnow.com and go to their website. That just kills me. All right. Wiggins America, boomer habits our generation hates, but are probably good for you. Next on The Annie Fry Show.
Give the best of Broadway right here in St. Louis. Muni season tickets are on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Our 2026 season includes Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. See all 7 shows starting at just $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
Let this serve as your reminder to go visit Andrea's restaurant sometime this holiday season. They are doing so much cool stuff. I actually really appreciate all the different things that they're offering there, because we usually go and just get a steak because we just love, I get a filet mignon every time I go there. But they're doing some really fun stuff. They have an igloo now at Andrea's, and it is available a couple nights a week, and they do small plates in there, so it's a little bit different menu inside the igloo, which is really fun. I've never done that yet, but they call it the Winter Conservatory. So you could even sit outside there at Andrea's and do some different experiences. If you want to see any of this stuff, go to Andreas.com, but you can also see a lot of it at their Facebook page. So follow Andrea's on Facebook. But once again, just back to the original here, go get a fantastic steak sometime this holiday season. Make it a family affair. Go and just have the best meal you're going to have the whole holiday season at Andrea's. It's in Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, Illinois. Definitely worth the drive no matter where you are. Andreas.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Votes are coming. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Senate Majority Leader John Thune just announcing that a plan proposed by 2 Republican senators will get a vote on Thursday as an alternative to a Democrat proposal for extending Obamacare subsidies by 3 years. Many Republicans pushing for reforms. Instead, an extension was the central Democrat demand in the recent government shutdown. The Trump administration threatening to withhold federal funding for Chicago's mass transit system.
Federal funding will be pulled for Chicago's public transportation unless the city beefs up security on the transit system. The Federal Transit Authority administrator sent a letter to Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker requiring a new safety plan be implemented by December 19th. A woman was set on fire inside a Chicago commuter train last month. The administration announced it was withholding $2.1 billion for Chicago infrastructure projects in October, including a planned expansion of a commuter train line. White House officials say they want to ensure contracts are not awarded on race-based criteria.
Fox's Jared Halpern, a member of the British Armed Forces, has been killed in Ukraine.
The British Ministry of Defence says the Armed Forces member died in an accident. We're told he was observing the Ukrainian military test a new defensive capability, and it happened away from the front lines of the war. British officials say their thoughts are with the victims' family.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. UK personnel are deployed to Ukraine in training, advisory, and technical support roles, not for combat. Ukraine's President Zelensky just telling reporters his country will push for a high-level meeting with the U.S. within the next 2 weeks on a peace deal with Russia. Taking questions, Zelensky also says he's ready for elections in Ukraine, calling on U.S. and European partners to help ensure security. America is listening to Fox News.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Not bad at all for a change. Sunny skies, 55 for the high. Tonight, lots of clouds, windy. The northwest wind returns in time. 44 the low. Wednesday, partly sunny, turning colder with a strong northwest flow, gusty winds. 40s in the morning, upper 30s in the afternoon. Then a couple of snow flurries on Wednesday night at 28. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
And a reminder that this Friday we are going to be at the St. Charles Ruler Foods for our annual food drive. Do we know how many years we've been doing this?
This is at least the fourth.
Did we? I always judge everything by it was Katie there.
Ooh, I don't know if she
Did you ever come to a food drive before you worked on the show, Brad?
No. The food drive started when I was on the show.
The food drive did?
Mm-hmm.
We did a diaper drive with Katie.
Okay.
I think.
So that would have preceded it.
Yeah. So it's probably since 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This would be our fifth one, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay, fourth or fifth.
That's awesome. So we want to make it a big one. We are going to have the ability for you to come shop, obviously, at the Ruler Foods in St. Charles. You can shop right there and then fill up the cans. But what we usually end up doing, a lot of you show up and you hand us $5. Some people hand us hundreds of dollars. It's a little overwhelming in the moment. But a reminder, we're partnered with Ruler Foods and the St. Louis Area Food Bank. Everything that we raise feeds people here.
And it's all local. It's all vetted. I love it.
Yes. It's so exciting. Dale is commenting on the Annie Fry YouTube live stream that he'll see us Friday. So please come out and see us if you want to take pictures, if you want to hang out and watch. I mean, I wouldn't really necessarily use the word glamorous to explain what happens, but incredibly generous and moving to be a part of you guys who show up and make this such a special day. We cannot do it without you. Every year I think to myself, gosh, I hope people come. I really hope that people show up.
Yeah.
And then every year you do. So I hope you do again. I will think those same thoughts this year. If you've never come out to meet us, this is the time to come out and meet us. We would love the opportunity to meet you at the St. Charles Ruler Foods. We will be out there from noon to 3 p.m. Come see us. Wiggins America?
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! These are boomer habits that everybody makes fun of, but they might actually be good for you.
Okay.
So
first we have to assess the veracity of the habit, like if we identify it in the boomers that we love.
Yes. And some of these are not necessarily, because you're a boomer, you do this. It's time period. So you were born into an era where this was more common, and you may have continued that tradition.
I consider myself to be kind of an old fart, so I probably do some of these already.
That's why I always say you are silent but deadly.
Oh, no.
Ryan had gas before the show.
That isn't true either.
He walked in, he's like, guys.
I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. And she goes, do you have gas? And I was like, no, why would you just say that?
Because he's real gassy.
No, that's also not true. And I'm tall.
And he's old, so he doesn't really realize
I'm not old. I'm so young that I don't identify with any of these things in this category of boomer stuff.
All right, keep
Number
defending
one
yourself
is
excessively.
Boomer stuff.
Is eating dinner at the table.
We do that.
Do you?
Yeah.
You eat dinner at the table
Yep.
how many times a week?
5.
Wow, that's pretty
4.
good.
Depends on the sports season. Basketball season is more difficult because 2 of the kids are in basketball season. When it's volleyball season, Charlie's got baseball a little bit, mostly on the weekend, golf, usually home in time for dinner. I will say this, though, and this is something I really struggle with, but so I've talked to you about Infinite Vitality, and I've been working with them and using the GLP-1s through them. I've lost like 18 pounds, which is exciting. But one of the things that I have done to help myself do that is I make my plate away from the table, and I don't sit at the table where all the food is. I just eat less that way. I'm not really an overeater. I don't like to be full, but I can force myself to eat a healthier plate. So I sit like by the table, on the other side of the table on the couch with them while everybody's eating.
And not everybody has to be home to do a table dinner either. Although it's tough at this age because you're driving people.
Brenner last night at 8:45. It was almost breakfast.
That's a
again.
late dinner.
Yeah.
That's good for you. We don't necessarily sit around the table, but we do kind of gather around our counter, which has several seats at it. So all the kids can sit down, and we can kind of have dinner with them.
You're having a gathered dinner.
Yeah, and it's
so
that's
important.
probably 3-4 times a week we do that. And it's not anything deliberate. It's just we're making dinner, we're there talking. That's kind of the point.
It's so important to sit the kids down and give them an opportunity to be unbothered by other things that are going on.
Unburdened by what has been.
Yes. Now we know what that means. Just talking about family dinner.
Number 2 is going to bed early. Early to bed, early to rise.
Ooh, the first part, yes. I will be astonished when I retire, if I'm an early riser. I'm kind of worried about it, actually. If I don't have any responsibilities, I don't know how long I could actually sleep. I hate getting out of bed in the morning.
I'm amazed the older I get, the more I wake up early and get more done in the morning.
What is early?
Well, for me, that's 6:30, 7. And I do wake up pretty much by 7 now consistently, even if I don't have anything to wake up for.
My early is now like, I get out of bed. If I'm completely uncommitted to anything and I can do whatever I want, I can lay in bed till about 10.
Wow.
I could probably lay there longer, but
are you
at that
awake
point,
laying there, or are you
I will
kind of
wake
halfway?
up. I will wake up around. If I have no alarm, I will wake up before 8 a.m. But being able to lay in my bed, it has a lot more to do with solitude.
Well,
and comfort.
That's a separate thing, I think, though. That's
Well,
not
I'll
just
drift off.
sleeping.
I'll drift off a little bit. I'll allow myself to if I'm still tired. It's like I wake up, but then I take a quick nap.
Wow, wake it up.
For all
Really
the
took it
trouble
out
of
of me.
waking up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the physical. Last night, Molly was nuzzling my face like a lion cub.
This is your daughter.
No, she's my neighbor. And I thought, should she go home? Go home, Molly.
Go home, Molly.
She
Come
just
on.
comes up to me and she just rubs her face like it's like she needs to have maximum surface area contact, and I am kind of a minimum surface area contact person, especially like if you get to 8:30 at night and it's been a long day, you've been running around. Oh, I have realized probably in the last 3 to 5 years that so much of my ability to relate to other people is based on I have a stimulation thing. And once I have gotten to the point where I've been maximum stimulated throughout the day, Everything else after that, you're asking a favor of me. Like, I can do it, but I'm running out of favors to give. If I've had a chill day, then I'm probably pretty good. Like, let's go out in the evening at night and have a good time. But that happens very rarely when you have 4 kids.
Well, I am that way too. And God bless teachers. And all of our spouses are teachers. I don't get how they do it. Because the noise.
Oh, I'm not one of them.
And the amount of just chaos that you have to manage. I teach Sunday school about once every other week. And that is my limit. It's an hour and a half.
Are you all law
and
no
I'm
gospel?
Just done. Oh, yeah.
Listen, Squirt!
I told a kid 2 weeks ago, you have behaved badly.
Was it your kid?
No. I don't even know who that kid was. But he was behaving badly. And he knew it.
I don't. Do you ever have? We're all married to teachers individually here. Do they ever come home and tell you stories about like really obnoxious kids? And like when Jared tells me the stories, if something happened at work, like a lot of times it's because he has to stay late at work because he's got to make a phone call or send an email, or whatever. And I'll be like, "Oh, what happened?" And he'll tell me, and I just think it's so funny. He doesn't appreciate it because all I do, Ryan, this is the God's honest truth. I imagine some punk kid in a classroom acting up and doing something that's just absolutely defiant. In my mind, I'm like, what would that like be at work for me? You'd be doing it. And I think it's funny.
Well, that is funny. I should start doing that with Katie and think about me doing it to you.
Listen to Katie's stories and then just enact them. And I'll try to decide if you're acting like a punk kid or not.
You know what I do is she'll tell me a story like that, and you know they're high school kids, and so I always put myself in the scenario, and I'm like, yeah, I probably did that.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I understand it, completely respect it. I'm grateful for people like our spouses who have to mold and shape these young punk-like kids, but I don't have to deal with them, so I am amused. And I also, in addition to that, knowing the circumstances that a lot of these kids are coming out of, like, you know, when it comes to kids being bad kids, there's almost, I will say there's always an adult who's failed them. And that becomes sad.
And that adult is me.
Okay.
Number 3 on the list of boomer habits that are actually kind of good for you, drinking coffee every morning. That's not me. You guys both do it, though.
Yes.
But do you drink coffee or do you drink coffee drinks? Other stuff.
I have an Americano.
So it's coffee.
It's a latte. It's coffee
so it's
and milk.
coffee.
Yeah.
I'll drink tea sometimes in the morning, usually chai tea, but it's just because it's very sweet and cinnamony. I don't drink coffee ever. I don't like espresso, anything in espresso at all. So I guess I miss out on this one. I don't know why that would be that good for you, but they go through some different things like coffee consumption might put a stop to certain conditions that are more common for women, including heart disease and Alzheimer's and things like that. Calling instead of texting.
Don't do that, old people. Knock it off. I'm pretty sure I haven't done it checked in a long time, but I'm pretty sure if you call my cell phone, my voicemail is like, text me. and if you leave me a voicemail, I'm not going to listen to that thing for weeks.
You know, the other way to do that is to make your voicemail message so long that people don't want to wait to get through it. Because I used to have one that was all about, it was just the Family Feud theme song. And it was me coming on at the very end going, it's time to play the message instead of the feud. And I didn't get a lot of messages.
Were you proud of that?
Yeah, it was great.
I don't want to have phone conversations with people. There's especially when it can just be sent in text. When is it? I mean, I got a phone call today because my daughter tried to go to school, and we tried to get her to go, and she's sick, and she stayed home yesterday, and we're like, give it a shot. And she called me at 10:30. She's like, I can't do this. She's just coughing a lot. So I answered that phone call. That's an immediate piece of information that needs to be exchanged. You talk, you get it done. But like, if somebody isn't the worst when somebody wants to ask a favor? It's hard to say no to a favor when someone's asking something of you. It's hard to say no when it's on a vocal phone call. And so I feel like there's extra pressure. I feel like I can't make an objective analysis of whether said thing can be executed.
That is why I call you. Instead of
probably
just texting you for favors.
When was the last time you called me on the phone?
I don't know, but I promise you I will next time.
Next time you need something?
Annie, hey.
Hey, can you bring me a pen from my desk?
Anything from Dairy Queen? Next one. Going to the actual library to do research.
I used to do that as a kid.
It might seem super
It was
old-timey.
like a portal.
But it's nice to sit quietly surrounded by stacks of books, and libraries provide a ambience just as much as they do the reading material.
Ambience. Does that make you go to sleep?
Might. It's certainly more, you can focus better
Ambience.
there, is what they're saying.
I love my childhood experience of going there. Like the paper is due at the end of the week, and I go on Tuesday. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm here until it's done. And because you'd have to look in actual books to find things to put in the paper. I don't know why you would do that now when you can get it all on the internet.
That's why they're saying it's worth it, especially if you need to spend some time researching something to actually go. How about this one? This one makes me look like a genius, Darren Wright. It is using coupons. Using coupons. I will do this every possible time that it is available to use a coupon. I will do it.
Oh, coupon?
I almost said coupon.
You kind of did.
Terry loves couponing.
Yeah.
We have coupons for everything.
Does she like gray couponing? Right before I said that, I regretted it. I want to acknowledge, though, that my wife was going to Culver's the other day and really made me mad because I said, hey, I'll get you the Culver's coupons. It's for something you're going to buy. And she was like, no, thanks. I'm like, why? I'm giving them to you. You don't have to do anything. So I acknowledge there are people in the world who just don't care about couponing. But I don't get it.
I love your wife.
I also love my wife.
I'm good.
But she didn't save 75 cents that day.
Oh.
Writing by hand.
Writing what?
Let's see. It says for young kids, writing by hand builds a foundation for literacy later. But a neuroscientist goes into why writing by hand is actually good for you even later in life for your cognitive.
I don't think I have. I've thought this for a long time. I don't think I have handwriting. I can write things, and I will write things, letters and words differently depending on the moment. I don't understand it. It's weird to not have, I can think of, girls have that really pretty, bubbly, cursive, kind of girly handwriting. I don't have that.
Does it look brutalist?
It's made of concrete.
I don't. This is the problem. I'm not committed to writing the whole word. So if I was writing committed, there'd be a C, there'd be a version of a couple M's and a D.
What about dog? Could you kind of finish that one out?
Ooh.
Did you skip the O?
Like my G is just a swirly. No, I don't skip. Actually, I did skip the O the first time I wrote it.
See.
Well, I write so much. Like I write things during the show if I'm doing an interview or something.
I do the same thing.
I write things so that if I participate in the act of pen to paper writing it down, I remember it in my brain. I never even look at the word, but just my brain retains the action of writing, which is why you take notes in school and so on and so forth. But I can't. If I went back to read it later, I don't think I would know what I wrote.
Well, that is a problem then.
Yeah, I should be a doctor.
Whenever I write words, it's funny because I'm all for blah, blah, blah. And then I get to a word like administration.
Yeah.
I'm like, how about fixing broken things instead of replacing them?
Worth a shot. But
depending on what it is.
Most things aren't made to be fixed anymore. The way they used to be when boomers were originally buying their things.
The example they give here, I would have to disagree with, though. Tinkering with a toaster oven might be a strange way to spend the weekend, but older appliances are often better built than their modern counterparts. I don't have an old toaster. I have a toaster from 2 years ago. So I'm just going to throw it out
and
you're
going to go buy a new toaster at Target for $18.
Yeah, and it saves you so much time to do that. So I don't know why but with more important things, maybe older things that you do want to keep, yeah, if you have the time to do that, go for it.
Washing machines, stuff like that.
Sure.
There's a headline right now in Fox News from Kamala Harris, and it just says that there will be a bust of me in Congress. There was almost a bust of her in the presidency, but fortunately there wasn't.
Kamala Harris didn't become the president of the United States.
Thank God.
How about walking every day? Last two here.
I need
walking
to do that.
every day.
One of the things I asked for Christmas is a 20-pound weighted vest.
Ooh.
They just put this really nice bike path, walking path in front of our house so we can walk. There wasn't even a sidewalk on our street, and our street's kind of busy. And now there's a 2-lane biking path that's like right there. So I think it's exactly 2 miles from our house down, one lap around the area park and then back. And instead of running, because I don't know, I've got ankle issues from varsity volleyball my senior year. I've got probably hip issues from pregnancy and stuff. My body's just kind of like left over from everything I've done to it so far. I just want to walk. But the weighted vest to me makes it seem like it would be a little more something up from walking, but down from having to jog or run.
Wrap that weighted blanket around you and just take off. You don't need a vest.
Like hooded over my head. And people,
yeah, people are like, hey, there goes Dr.
Can you imagine
Strange.
that down my street? Dr. Strange.
It's the multiverse. No, that's just Annie. She's got a radio show.
Says nobody.
Last one is sending thank you notes. They're saying it's good. They're saying it's good to send thank you notes.
I'm past it.
I'm past it too.
Honestly, you ever get a thank you note and you're like, "Got showing off, aren't you?"
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Like, okay.
I hate to say it. I think that way about Christmas cards anymore.
Really?
Kinda.
I love people's Christmas cards. One day I'll send them.
I like when they just send, here's a couple photos of the family, we're all doing fine. When there's a card that has a message in it, then I'm like, thank you, but also I'm not doing that, so I kind of feel bad.
What do you mean?
I'm not sending out
you mean
a message.
You're not? Yeah. Yeah, I wish I was better. I'm not. And I was just saying this the other day on the air. Like I don't know if I was saying, I think I might have been saying this before the show. I've got so many things on my plate. We have had such a tumultuous couple months in our household. Not bad things, but just very heavy, just lots of decisions and change and stuff going on. And to get through a day is an accomplishment and an achievement. Just to try to make sure all I'm doing is trying to figure out how to not let other people down. And then I get home and my house is a mess and the laundry needs to be done. And Jared and I are looking at each other like, oh, hey, I remember you. And we're like, all right, but everything else is taken care of. We're almost to the end of all that. So, but thank you cards, man. I appreciate them when I get them, but isn't it terrible to be like, I don't have time for that? I should have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I won't send you any, and then we'll both be grateful.
Well, now if I don't get one from you, I'm going to be offended because I know that you feel bad and you should send one.
Let's just agree for you to be offended.
What's new?
Sports and Local with Ethan next. TheDiamondShop.net. Shop with the amazing team at The Diamond Shop for your holiday gift giving this year. If you're thinking about an important purchase, maybe a question that you want to ask New Year's Eve, if you haven't made that purchase yet, if you're looking for the right thing, whatever it might be, The Diamond Shop is going to have a variety of options for you right there in store, ready to purchase. And they are the best when it comes to helping you navigate all of the different options you have, an understanding of what you're actually purchasing, quality, different types of options that might be available to you, especially respectfully within your budget. Whatever you come in, they're going to be happy to talk to you. They love making new customers who oftentimes become customers for life with The Diamond Shop. You can become a VIP by visiting them on their website at thediamondshop.net. And a reminder that they do custom jewelry repair, watch repair, appraisals. They also buy gold as well. And they always have this special financing available to you 6 months, same as cash. You can find them online at thediamondshop.net.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Point Pest Control. Remember, Point is spelled with an E. PointPestControl.com. You can call 636-798-0023 and throw my name, Annie, out there, and you'll get an extra 10% discount on top of whatever specials they have going on right now to help you keep your home, your business, pest free. They can help you with those pesky ants, spiders, crickets, mice, and at the Fry Abode, we have a premier service plan subscription, and that offers the best deals to make sure that they come treat your house on a quarterly basis, inside and outside, in a way that is safe for the kiddos, safe for the pets, but not safe for the pests. So if you want to become a premier service plan subscriber like we are, call 636-798-0023 and ask Point Pest Control how they can service your home and keep you pest-free. They work in a ton of different places in Missouri and Illinois, both residentially and commercially. A lot of restaurants, area businesses that have relied on Point Pest Control for a long time. You might be the next people interested. 636-798-0023. Point with an E. PointPestControl.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. X's and Y's.
All right, we gave so much time to Wiggins America that we are skipping straight ahead to X's and Y's. This is a little segment we do on Tuesdays, just in an effort to try to delineate between the two genders, 1, 2, male, female. I really appreciate this segment. We get a lot of work done in this segment between the definition of the difference between boys and girls. Most of the questions that Ryan asks first have to do with women using the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that today's?
No, absolutely not.
What's your first question?
Brad, when you use the restroom,
That's so wrong.
Ew. I don't want to think about these things.
do you prefer a stall or a urinal? I'm making this up on the spot.
It just
but-
depends on what I'm doing, Ryan.
It's kind of hard to believe.
Well, what are you doing? What are you doing in there?
Okay, can we ask about the...
You're asking the question, not me.
Anybody have a question they want to use to start?
I think Trisha does. Based on the look on her face,
Wildly
she seems
prepared
eager.
for this. Fantastic.
I got it. Okay, gentlemen first, then ladies, or ladies then gentlemen. I don't care how it goes. What is harder, asking for help or saying no? So you have a situation.
For me, asking for help. I don't
Saying
have
no.
a problem saying no
Saying no.
anymore. Used to.
I ask for help all the time with everything.
I know. It's usually us. It's usually to us.
But saying no to somebody who needs help, I do have a tough time with that, actually. And usually it's when they call me and not text me, as we were saying the last
It
segment.
is harder to shut somebody down if it's not via text.
Yeah.
You have a hard time telling people no?
Yeah, I do.
You don't have a hard time telling me no.
Well, that's because you ask crazy, outlandish things that I can't do.
That's not true. Not with that attitude. Ryan, you don't say no. You go into a list of how difficult it would be to do it, and you wait for the person to rescind the request.
I'm not doing that on purpose, though.
No?
I'm actually walking through
Just out
how
loud?
to accomplish it. Here's the thing, and I'm telling you the truth here, and I hate to say this. My wife calls me a dream taker.
That's so funny.
And
Why?
I'm like, no, I'm a dream maker. Think about all the things that we've gone through.
Give me an example of a dream that you've squashed.
It'll be something like, oh, you know what we should do? 'Cause a lot of times it's based on vacations, but it'll be, something that she wants to do. Oh, I want to go to Quebec City for vacation or something.
Said no one ever.
And I'll go, and we actually did this. And that's why I brought it up, because I'm a dream maker. I'll walk through the reasons why that's either difficult or that reasons we'll have to think through how to do it.
I've had this conversation with my husband, and I always tell him, what if instead of coming up with all the reasons it can't happen, we talked about all of the reasons it could happen? That doesn't mean that at the end it's a yes or a no, but his initial reaction is often the same thing. These are all the reasons it's difficult. So maybe it's a process.
Is that a guy thing?
I'm wondering. Because, the first thing I'm asking him, I'll say something to the effect of, okay, for instance, and I'm looking maybe for a plumber out there, so maybe somebody can message me at the Annie Fry Show and help me with this on
you
the
don't
Facebook
want a plumber.
page.
Think about all the issues you might have.
No, we have our second shower where the kids are supposed to use. The plumbing has been bad since we moved into the house. It needed to be replaced, but it's just gotten to the point where we actually don't use that. We have 6 people in our house. We have one shower that we're using, and it's my shower. It's the master bathroom shower.
Everybody else is unbathed.
And I'm like, just get out of here. This is my place. No.
Hose.
We're not using the bathroom for the purpose. It's pretty much a changing room at this point. I'm like, we should start working on replacing these things, because my husband has done plumbing, he's done electrical, he has family members who can help him. We did all of this in the first house. We installed a bathroom upstairs. These are all things that he's done before and has had help doing before. But as you go through life in the time-money balance, when you're younger, you by default have more time than money because the money is just not there. So that's how we got through the first house. But my question was, if the bathroom upstairs is not usable, it's not like if we started tearing it apart that we would then no longer be able to use it. Maybe there's a situation there where we can fix it ourselves, or if in the likely chance we're going to have to hire somebody to do the whole thing. What are we losing by tearing some of it apart to see if we can do it ourselves, if it's a simple fix? Because he's done this plumbing stuff before.
I don't know, but you're asking more bathroom questions, and we try to stay away from that in this segment.
Shower stuff, though.
Well, I don't ask any shower questions. I think that's
Okay,
inappropriate.
we're going to run out of time. Trisha, do you have that experience? Are you either of you in your house like that, where an idea comes up and someone's a dream maker and a dream taker?
I'm a dream taker. Yeah, it's not a men. I'm the one that automatically my brain starts to say, well, this is going to be an issue. It's going to cost this. We don't have time for that. It's going to be this, that, and the other reason why. And I often put the kaputs on things.
They're probably
unintentionally.
but they're probably all valid thoughts that need to be considered in the decision-making process, but your lane is this is why it's probably a no.
Which is frustrating, and I have to stop myself sometimes because Eddie's an idea guy. So
But it's good that you're together.
It's a balance,
But
right?
you have to, I hope you learn sooner than I did, which I'm even like hearing Ryan say that his wife calls him a dream taker. I've never used that phrase before, but I'm definitely going to use it in our next argument with Jared. I'm kidding.
I'll call you.
I will say, yeah. Jared will be calling you like, just speak to Ryan.
Let me get Ryan on the phone.
To have an idea that could be really great, like the final result, there are a lot of reasons why that might be the right way to go. For the initial, you're excited about something, you proposition the idea, and immediately this is going to be hard. Well, I know it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be easy. This is going to be expensive. Well, I understand that, but we need a XYZ. You can't have everybody be like fantastical and dream makers either, because you'd be
broke. But let me ask you this, Tricia, since you are a dream taker like I am,
One and the
or a
same.
realist, as I like to put it. As you walk through those things, your goal isn't to destroy them. Your goal is actually, what you're doing is out loud figuring out how to do it. So you're trying to accomplish that thing.
No, mine's destruction.
Okay.
Of hopes, dreams.
That's why I asked.
Well, I think that's an important question, though, because when I get mad at Jared for, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, oh, is this just too hard? Like, you don't want to do it because it's hard? Like, every good thing comes after doing something that was hard. And then you push through that, and then you get to the other side, and something is better.
I wonder if that's what he's doing. Ask him that question.
Well, we've had that conversation. I'll be like, you're doing it again. And he'll say now, like, I'm sorry, that's not what I mean. I'm just kind of like you're saying, you're processing it out loud.
Yes.
But I've had to get mad at him several times for him to realize how he's coming off. But I also have to realize that the inference that I have is not necessarily the intention that is being delivered.
Yes.
Progress.
All we want to do is make our ladies happy.
Actually,
Me and Jared.
I was going to say that's not true, but I think it actually is.
It is true.
Your life is so much easier when she's happy. Is that true?
That makes it selfish. And that is not the goal.
Selfish on your part?
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, my life will be easier if I can just figure this out. That's not the goal.
My question is, happy wife, happy life? Question mark?
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. But that's not the motivation either always. I do want to make her happy, but it's not so that I can be happy. It makes me happy to make her happy. But
Yeah.
my goal isn't just for myself.
But you want to make sure people know that you're not selfish about it.
Yeah. I want everybody to know that in
Ethan?
St. Louis.
Yes.
Happy wife, happy life?
I think so, to a certain extent. I think that it kind of comes back down to, what is causing the happiness and what are you doing to get there? Because I think sometimes if you're creating happiness for the wrong reasons, then I think that can cause deeper issues. But I think in general, yes, the goal should be like to, be able to, that your partner is going to be joyful, happy in your guys' marriage relationship.
Brad?
Yeah, I keep going back to what the Bible says. The Bible says better a quiet rooftop than a quarrelsome wife, but that cuts two ways, Like guys will read that verse and be like, yeah, see, don't be mean. But don't also be the one that's...
Who's being mean?
To their wives, But also don't be the one that's causing your wife to be that way. Don't act in a manner that is causing your wife to be quarrelsome. Be the kind of guy that is trying to give your wife the best. I mean, whenever I do premarital counseling, we always talk about, it's not 50-50, it's 100%. So as a guy, as a man, you're to give 100% of yourself to your wife to ensure that she has a happy life. So happy life, happy wife, happy wife, happy life.
Happy life, happy life.
I think, that's a much deeper dive into, is it a happier home when she's happy?
I like happy life, happy life.
Is it happy husband, happy wife?
Yeah,
I'll ask you. That's a question for you.
I don't think that men's emotions play into the effect of the home life the way women's do.
I don't know. If my husband is not happy, it impacts my happiness and the overall feel of our home.
I'm saying that I don't think that men have emotions that get put into the system of the function of the household. I don't think that the emotions are present as frequently as maybe the ups and downs of female emotions, which is a nice, soft way of saying women are more emotional. And women being more emotional affects the people around them in positive ways as much as in negative ways. So the women are going to be, generally speaking, way more affectionate with the kids, more emotionally available to the people in the family than men are. So when those emotions are in place and neutral to positive, for women, that keeps that household happy. If for women who are, generally speaking, they're like in the game more emotionally than men are. So if a man comes home and he's had a rough day at work and he's really aggravated at everyone, that's obviously going to cause the balance of the home to shift. I think that happens less than a woman's emotion factors into the equation.
I think if he
Not that it's less important.
I just think if he comes home and there's a shift in his emotions, then my emotions naturally shift, which may be the thing that shifts a household, at least in our case.
Would you argue that because it is less likely to happen as often with the man, that when it happens with the man, it has more impact?
I think the room stops. Yeah, I think, for sure. Like, I would think that households, let's all together put our hands in the middle and determine we're not going to tell any stories after I give this indication. But I think everybody grows up understanding how to manage if mom is in a bad mood. Everybody kind of knows how to act. You kind of know how to get through the day. If mom is in a rough mood versus if dad's in a bad mood, everything kind of stops until that at least starts working its way back. And it could have nothing to do with the people in the house. It could just be something completely related to work or something that existed outside of the house, that I think people are more willing to coexist with women who are acting emotionally than they are willing to coexist for a long time with a man who is acting emotionally. Because I think men are more emotionally consistent. So it's more of an aberration when a man is outside of the steady.
And I can speak on behalf of men and say that is why we have to walk around going,
exactly.
What makes you think you
Ryan,
can speak on
is
behalf
something
of
the matter?
women?
Is there something the matter with you?
see? And then you go, oh, no.
Exactly. Is that fair? I mean, women are more emotional more often, right?
Trisha just doesn't even care at this point.
I
She's
do
checked
care.
out.
I care very much. Yes, I believe women are more emotional, but I at least the men in my life, if they're affected, then I'm affected. So then the whole thing's thrown off.
Yeah, I just think it happens less for
I don't
my experience.
want to run out of time because this is a really good question. It came in on the text line, 314-241-9797 if you want to text in a question. It says, do you think men and women lead differently when they are the boss at work? And they ask because Trisha's in the room. And Trisha is a boss.
Yes, she is.
Thanks, guys.
Do men and women lead differently when they're the boss at work?
I think this is applicable to Annie a little bit, too, as the head of a show, for what
Probably.
it's worth.
I clearly have no say in who's employed here.
Yeah, I'm
there's
still
a
here.
leadership aspect to the
I've
the role
advocated
you're
for
in.
you so many times, Ryan.
Behind the scenes, advocated for me to leave.
No,
she's asked
only behind the
nicely,
scenes
she's
have I
yelled.
advocated for you to stay.
It's good to
But
know
I
that the
have.
management's trying to get
I
rid
have.
of me.
No, it's radio, buddy. They're trying to get rid of all of us. What were you going to say, Trisha?
No, I think that this applies to both of us.
I think it really depends. I don't think that men manage one way and women manage another. I think that's where women get screwed the most. Is that I think it's put upon. I think that men have a much harder time working for a woman than a woman working for a man, certainly. And I think women have to consider that in their management style to try to head off some of the presuppositions that might exist for a woman. But women are expected to be emotional, kind of like we've talked about right now, and sensitive. And if they're not, then they're not like the status quo. But if they were, then they would be held accountable for being an emotional woman.
Do you think it's harder to work for a woman than a man? As a woman?
I'm trying to think if I've ever had any female bosses. I mean, I've worked with a lot of women. I haven't. I don't know that I've ever had any female bosses. I think all my bosses have been men. I
I've
really
had
gonna know?
more female bosses than male bosses across media.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't find any common theme with any of them. It's completely dependent on the person.
Yeah.
And because everybody's personality is just so different that if I even tried to find some commonality between all the women that I've worked with and for and all the men, I'd have a tough time doing that because everybody's so dang different.
I'm with Ryan on that one. I have had a plethora of bosses, male, female. You know, I have not. They were all different. Every one of them was different, and they had different leadership styles and
So it
attitudes.
doesn't, not really gender based.
I don't think so. Not my experience, at least.
Yeah, I can't either. The men that I've worked with directly, I think I've gotten along with a little bit better just because we're both guys. Like I'm a
There's
guy.
just no
So-
there's no barrier there.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's been better for me because I'm a guy and they're a guy. But that's it. There's not really, and I know that I would love to be able to be like, oh yeah, there's all these things and the difference between men and women. That's the kind of stuff we talk about all the time. But in my personal experience, I have not found any.
Well, we'll take a few more of your questions. Like Ryan said, he just read one off the text line, 314-241-9797. Or you can message us on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat and ask us those questions you'd like us to answer and settle, between the men and the women. Like, for instance, here real quick. Where did it go? I was looking. They wanted to know about why women wear really tall 4-inch heels with pointy toes. And my answer is, here's Enders. What's with the super extremely pointed heels and that add no less than 4 inches to the end of your toe? Well, I will tell you that it lengthens the visual of your leg, which makes you look taller and thinner. That's why people wear them. I do not. I'm wearing some on clouds right now.
I was going to say comfort, but...
All right, let's take a quick break. More questions when we come back.
Never wanna leave. Exes and love, they haunt me like ghosts, they want me.
CiviaLaw.com. If you have been thinking about getting your estate planning in order, Todd Civia is a wonderful phone call to make. It's going to be a very smart move, especially if you call them right now and mention my name. You're going to get the strategy session fee, $300 waived when you call 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. And you mentioned that you heard about him on the Annie Fry Show. The first 10 callers right now will be able to sit down and have that initial conversation, be it in Missouri, in Illinois. They have offices in both, to establish that estate planning conversation. You need to have a plan, especially when you go in there with your loved one. If you've got one that's years and years old, it needs to be looked at again. And I'm constantly having conversations with Todd Civia about all the different ways that you can maximize your financial benefit through smart estate planning. 833-995-WILL. Call 833-995-WILL from Missouri or Illinois and get that strategy session booked and the fee waived when you mention Annie. CiviaLaw.com.
Give something that means something. Roll up your sleeve at the Odyssey Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross, December 16th through the 19th at multiple locations. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or at redcrossblood.org. Enter sponsor code Odyssey for a drive near you.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? It's Mark Reardon from Michael's Baths with one question. What's there to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top-quality materials, and backs it all with over 30 years of experience. And now they're going to throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule your free in-home consultation today, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of others. That's why the American Red Cross needs you. This holiday season, give something that means something. Make a difference in the lives of others by rolling up your sleeve and donating at the Odyssey Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross from December 16th through the 19th at multiple locations. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or at redcrossblood.org. And enter sponsor code Odyssey for a drive near you.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
This is Kyle Bush with Cringe Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. How many times have you changed jobs over the years? If you're like many professionals, you may have left behind one or more 401ks. Unwatched, unmanaged, and potentially your largest retirement asset. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind. Let's make sure it's working as hard for your future as you are. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
The YouTube live chat poll today, in today's political climate, which is more prevalent, malice or incompetence? That is the question you have to answer, and you have a little bit of time left to do it. We're going to give you the results here in just a couple minutes. Let us know what you think about today's YouTube live chat poll. It is 2:52. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Rooted in faith, grounded in family. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Okay, a little more X's and Y's before we find... Who's singing this? Oh, Taylor.
It was.
This is Taylor Swift as a 6-year-old.
Featuring Ryan Wiggins.
I think that was Trisha, actually.
It was. It caught me.
Another X's and Y's question. Ethan enters the chat.
Yeah, so leggings.
Love them or hate them?
They're just... It's just funny how... For a guy,
is this just a comment on leggings? Or?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
I mean,
This
it's
is like
what's
last
up
week
with
when
that?
He said women can't tell stories. We're like, okay,
it's the worst. And then he said, "Every woman in my life is a terrible storyteller," and then I just cried.
I told you, it was that chair. Is there something with that chair? I don't know what it was.
Oh, you've been a lot
I feel
nicer not
much
sitting in
more
Ryan's
normal.
chair.
Was it weird for you guys wearing leggings at first? I mean,
for us, it certainly was because that became a thing after we became adults. There was a long time where I was looking at people. I'm like, you should not be wearing that in public.
like we used to wear them to practice, and you wear like shorts over them and stuff. And I
Are you
remember
talking
just
about dudes?
yes, we would wear like
What?
Are you talking about like the leggings Ryan's wearing right now?
No, those are jeans.
Those are jeans, Annie.
they're really
They're
tight.
just super tight.
It's theater of the mind,
I do
buddy.
fill them out nice. I'm not saying I don't.
Oh, too much.
But we used to wear them like under practice shorts or whatever during.
Like compression pants or something.
Yes, but that's like they're basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, man, I can't imagine just wearing this.
Well, I don't think dudes are.
Well, they're not, but I mean, even for women, I can't imagine being on the other side and just wearing that.
I don't wear leggings in public like that. If I wear leggings, there's always an oversized sweatshirt situation going on, and it's in my house.
Trisha?
I'll wear them. I started
Or to
wearing
work
them
out.
when they came on the scene under dresses, I think. I think there was a time in the early 2000s where it was like underskirts and dresses.
Ryan?
I only wear them the kind that come up just barely below the nipple. And only in public.
I think those are Spanx.
What does that mean?
Don't ask questions. Don't ask
That
follow-ups.
just makes it worse.
Ethan.
Tell you what.
Leave it
That's
to
what
him to
happens
ask,
to
get
me when I
asked a
go out.
question about leggings, and he's like, how can I work in my nipples? Checkmate.
I feel like if you bring them up high enough, you don't have to wear a shirt. That's kind of my whole point. That's kind of my whole point here.
Yeah, that is your whole point here in this room.
No words.
You too,
I just
Paul.
realized the segment was over.
Yes, it's over. It's how we're ending the show.
Show's
Maybe
over.
the whole show. Quickly, we're running out of time. Ethan?
In today's political climate, which is more prevalent? The answer to today's YouTube live chat poll, 68% say malice, 32% say incompetence.
More people think it's malicious than incompetent. Brad, what do you think it is?
I think it's malicious incompetence, but if I had to vote, I'd say maliciousness.
You have to vote. And you're saying maliciousness. Trisha, you want to weigh in?
Incompetence.
Ryan?
I'm going to lean malice.
Ethan abstains. I'm saying incompetence. It's more prevalent, but the maliciousness is worse. Someone says it takes the incompetence to expose the maliciousness. I thought that was great. Mark Reard next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Bills Happen.
Numerous studies over the years have said that disagreements about money are the number one source of arguments in a relationship and one of the leading causes of divorce, regardless of income level. Ed Jertson, founder of the Engage Wealth Group in Chicago, says you can avoid that strife by having a stress-free conversation with your partner ahead of time.
What you prioritize and how you're going to